Nope.
One of my favorite pizzas is a barbecue bacon double cheeseburger.
But
Yeah, it's pretty good.
amazing. I'm running that 90-second ad. Or I'm about to. It didn't run yet for some reason.
I eat too. Jake eats too. We all eat.
We all eat?
Wow.
That's crazy.
You scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ah!
Hey, that's not a tongue twister.
You're not a tongue twister. You lunatic.
It's not.
Lunatic linoleum, lunatic linoleum, lunatic linoleum.
Ooh, got him.
That's just 2 words.
Your face is 2 words.
I am recording. Friendly reminder for everyone to start recording.
I mean, we thank you.
That time when Trevor saved the podcast.
Recording. Okay, it works.
I mean, I've been recording.
Okay, good. It's just.
I was about to be like rude, and then I was like, no, he's actually helping. So.
And he's totally justified in thinking that someone might have forgotten it. We have like a 60-40 kind of success rate. So
it's mainly a reminder to myself, you know.
Yeah.
He's just.
But it's like the one time we don't remind it, because we're confident that people will remember, is the time when people forget.
Yes.
That's right.
I will never hate you for reminding me to press record.
Oh.
I can't remember to forget you.
You know, this is just such an important thing. Like, you know.
It is.
Do you remember?
Da, da, ba, da, da, ba, ba. Something, it's on September.
I remember the 23rd of September. Josh, you're going to have to cosplay your DM mantle sometime.
That is pretty cool looking. I'd be down to try and figure out that cosplay.
Especially if we got you like some glasses and put some white LEDs behind them.
That's true. That would be pretty cool. Or even just like the way they do mirrored sunglasses. Like I could just get white mirror coating to go over it. Then we could point a light at it. Poke a light at it. That's what I was gonna say.
Poke a light.
That's the words I was gonna say.
You could push them up on your nose and say, "Dozo genki desu."
I could do that.
What does that mean?
I don't even know. It was like one sentence I learned a long time ago. It might even be like, "How are you doing today?" or something.
Wash just said like Josh is the worst Twitch streamer, but
so
Nani?
when I come back, the truth cometh out.
Yeah, are you guys excited for Japan to cancel us?
Yeah, I'm gonna phone a friend for Japanese translation.
Oh, Jebediah.
Who's your friend?
Laura and Christian.
Cool.
They do. In fact.
They do Japanese.
Jebediah plus Foxy.
Hola,
1d10 force damage. Welcome.
Yeah, what's up, my dude? Got this new starting soon screen so you can enjoy the elevation change machine as much as we did.
We're not on the elevation change machine.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, is that the name for the thing we decided?
No, we're
I thought
not.
we came up with something shorter.
I thought you guys landed on
You're
elevation
shorter.
change machine, but I could be wrong. Got the
okay.
combos. Got the
No. But
Look
we're
at
not.
that. Bella
Our
Savalas
characters
in
are
the
not
chat.
on the.
Ooh, what kind of
elevation
combos you
change
got, Billy?
machine.
They are
Pizza
right this
combos
very
are my
minute.
fave.
Are you looking at the screen, buddy?
No, I know, but our characters have not been on an elevation change machine, right? Am I going crazy?
You have looked at an elevation change machine
Okay.
and spent a great amount of time talking and laughing about it.
Okay.
Okay. Belly is set.
Woo!
Cheddar cheese,
Cheddar
combos.
cheese
Heck
combos.
yes.
Nice.
There you go.
Good choice.
All I have is caffeine. That's all I need. It's enough.
You'll get the job done.
Master Chief only needs caffeine.
That's
Drinks
right.
Game fuel.
Master caffeine.
Finish the drink.
Master caffeine.
Finish the drink.
It's in the drink.
So how's everyone's life going?
Busy.
Solid.
You can't see it yet, stream, but I've like really I've did this whole transformatic thing where I'm like I'm changing everything, and my bedroom's completely switched up, and now my office is as well. So when you get to see it, it's gonna look great. I swear.
By transformatic, what he really means is he unpacked after having lived there for like months and months and months.
Grubbug,
what's up,
bestie?
bestie? We're already adding to the tension pool. I'm here for it.
No.
That's fine.
How dare you, Grubbug? I thought we were friends.
Grubbo,
You can be
I
friends
love
and
the
there can
chaos.
still be some tension. That's acceptable.
I think that is
I love the
acceptable.
chaos.
Also, Matt just didn't like the feng shui in his room, so you know.
Hey, do you hear that? That's the sound of the first tension die going in.
Oof.
Dang.
ASMR tension.
Also, friendly reminder to chat, which we'll probably get through later, but you have new points.
That's right.
stuff.
New spells. Chat's casting level has leveled up to level 2. And you have new spells.
Two spells, too furious.
That's right. 2 spells, 2 furious. You've got new spells and more spell
Family.
slots, so you can cast some of the other spells that had caps. I have raised the caps, or for cantrips, I've lowered the cooldowns so that you can cast them more often. And that is kind of the
Family.
progression of leveling up. So super
You don't
excited
need
about
melee
that.
weapons when you have familiars.
Nice.
it's the play on the thingy.
It's the meme. Guys, it's the meme.
Guys, you memed.
I understood that reference.
I understood that
Yes,
reference.
Jake, the Gen Z, the one of us least likely to understand a reference.
I understand all the references that matter.
Got him.
Why would you hurt us like that?
I guess you can't see my face because we haven't revealed that on the stream yet. But I was looking at the camera in like an ironic way.
Thanks for tuning in for Jake's face reveal tonight.
1,000 more subs and Jake reveals his face.
Belly, thanks for the shout out for the elevator animation. That is all Wash Brunello. He has been kicking butt on the pixel art front.
Pushing pixels.
All we need is elevator music now.
I
All we
literally
need is
thought
an
about making an elevator music playlist, but it just doesn't fit our vibe yet. If we ever get to a
Yeah.
point where it does, I will use that. I also thought about making an intermission screen version of this that was like sunny and had elevator music, so maybe I'll do that for next week. But we don't take intermissions very much, so
No.
maybe we'll have to start just to appreciate the elevator some more.
There you go.
Welcome to the elevator watching simulation stream.
Hey, if
Elevator
anybody
Sim
in the chat
2022.
can compose his music, hit us up with an elevator theme song. Let's see what you got.
There you go.
Yeah. It can't literally. It can't be worse than
know-
the song we like improv'd over Discord last week. So
What do you mean? That was
That's
a
going on
beautiful
TikTok.
song.
That was a banger. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
that's true. It was a banger. I'm just saying that I think they're better than
Our
us.
al-
It can't be worse than that.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is it a banger or is it a bop? Because I know a couple months have
They're
gone
both.
by since the
It's
previous
both.
one was used. Okay.
I think it slaps.
Oh, is that what it is?
Slaps. Yes, that's
Ooh.
it. Slaps.
It's got to
Yep.
be 8-bit to match the animation. Belly says that's fair. 8-bit elevator music. For a while,
That'd
I
be
was
awesome.
using 8-bit soundtracks behind the games, and I enjoyed it. But there just isn't enough DMCA safe 8-bit music for me
That's fair.
to get
So-
all of the emotions. So Wash Brunello helped me curate some playlists that are just like they're by Keyvine McLeod. For
Yeah.
anyone who's
My favorite.
So I have been
artist.
I've been tinkering with a software called Fama Studio, which is a NES Fama tracker, like a music composer specifically for the NES chipset,
okay.
and it's pretty rad. It's pretty rad.
Hey, you know what? I think
Nice.
you're pretty rad.
Aw.
Ooh.
That's right.
I disagree, but like it's cool that Josh thinks that.
I
Roasted.
disagree on a fundamental level.
Got him.
Dude, you just got roasted. That's rough, buddy.
I just had pizza. I'm feeling it tonight. I'm feeling savage.
Was it
I
pizza
mean, I'm just
roasted?
listening to my demo reel
No,
over
the
here. I'm
pizza
not
was
paying attention.
baked. I am not baked.
Baked in red sauce. Hey, speaking of
Baked in red
pizzas,
sauce. Is baked.
I'm
There you
going to take a second to talk about a non-D&D thing here. On March 2nd, we're doing the second ever Wing Badger Gaming Invitational, and we have
Oh,
figured
yeah.
out the stakes for it. The stakes, so it's Team Matt versus Team Jake again. And last time, the losing team captain had to dye their hair red and blue. This time, the losing team
I wonder who that
captain
was.
has to order the pizza from our tier list we made with Stream at the very bottom tier. So it's going to be like, I think it's like
The F tier pizza.
anchovies, like what else is on there? It's like anchovies, maybe. I think pineapple made it up one,
I don't want to think
Maybe
about
it's
it.
just anchovies. Anyway, before we do that, let's just say hello. Hi, people. It's our faces. We're so excited to play some Dungeons and
Dude, I have a
Dragons.
face.
Ah,
Oh,
Josh
you can see
adjusted
my
my
face now.
camera back when I was slouching down because I was waiting for my pizza. Now that I've had pizza and I have energy, I'm like this, so my head is slightly cut off, but that's okay.
That's okay. Jake doesn't need a
That's
head.
how I live life.
Yeah.
Is with my head slightly cut off.
With
Yeah.
energy or with pizza?
1 mile at a time.
Which part of your head is slightly cut
The
off?
top
top
part.
part.
Look at the video.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
the
I
full
see, I see,
video.
I see.
That's actually his head. Like
Yeah.
that's
You know, I
Yeah,
think this is
my
in
head's always
preparation
like
for
this.
Wingle digits raining down from the sky.
What is the headphones
peek
rest?
over the
Are the
top.
headphones cut off too?
Speaking of
No, the headphones just float above my head.
Speaking of
Oh, okay.
Wingle digits, by popular request, I have added the bump command. So I'm gonna play a test Wingle digit here to show you what I mean. So if you cheer, if you spend money on our stream, then we get some Wingle digits that pop down. But if at any time during the stream you get bored, or if they're in the way of someone's face, you may now use !bump. 1d10 force damage with some more bits. Thank you so much. If we now hit
Bruh.
bump, they fly around the screen.
Let's go.
There's no
That's sick.
cooldown. You could literally spend the whole stream just bumping the Wingle digits,
Oh,
and they
no.
would
Bump,
fly
bump,
around.
bump,
So
bump,
that's a
bump,
thing
bump.
you can do if you wanna just play around with stuff. That's a
If you want to be an agent of chaos.
yeah, that's the thing I just thought would be
Yeah.
fun. Hey, we turn these into a podcast. So before we go anywhere else, I want to make sure that we do our little podcast intros here. So let's just go down the line. We'll do Matt, Wash, Jake, and Trevor, and then I will end things with an opening monologue, and we'll get into the game here with some D&D.
Hello, my name is Matt, and I play Fox. I look to the left because I'm used to my camera being on the left, but now it's to the right. Hello. On to the next.
Hey, I'm Wash. I play Jebediah Peppermint, a little gun wizard. He's a little dirt molefolk. He's a little spitfire that spits fire and fires spit. Off to you, Jake.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the dungeon master, and I like to play D&D. I'm actually Jake, and I play Owlin Woodrear, the Azamar Barbarian.
Hi, I'm Zothkug. I am the orc cleric. I have adopted a Myconid. I treat him like my child, but he's not actually my child. I didn't give birth to a Myconid. Josh.
Hi, I'm Jake, one of the players in Josh's excellent D&D campaign, and I love Venmoing Josh $100 every Friday. Just kidding. I'm Josh, your Wing Badger Game Master for the evening, and we're going to kick things off today with a little opening monologue. Now, I've done some different things with these, but I thought it'd be fun to start expanding our worldview a little bit at the beginning of each session here. So today's opening monologue is actually going to take a look at a little bit of a historical event, if you will. So we're gonna dive into a little history and talk about that. So here we go. Here's that. There was a time in the magical world of Urida known as the 5-Century War. A conflict deep beneath the material plane of eastern Urida between the rock-skinned Hemeticians, commanded by their god Zanir to delve deeper into the world and explore its mysteries, and the Drow, whose home they invaded. Like a pendulum, the momentum of the war would swing this way and that, but never quite came to a stop as generations avenged generations avenging generations who never knew a life before the war. In the 497th year of the 5-Century War, battle came, not for the first time, to the Drow castle of Ambercliff. Using their inherent strength to maneuver massive siege engines into position, the Hemeticians pushed the Drow temporarily into Ambercliff Keep. Though with its many tiered defenses, they stood little chance of penetrating the keep itself. The Drow, masters of magic, had woven many layers of protection over their stone walls, and projectiles merely bounced off. But this time would be different. A daring plan was hatched, and the Hemeticians executed on it brilliantly. By painting their natural rock armor with a camouflage, a small strike force were able to sneak up to the wall of Ambercliff Keep. Though their knowledge of magic may not have been as great as the Drow, their faith was, and they prayed fervently to their god Zanir for a blessing that would grant them access to the keep, that they may end the slaughter by capturing the governor and his family and holding them ransom for a ceasefire. Their prayers were answered. The magical defenses of the Drow simply vanished. Inspired by the blessing their god had bestowed, this strike force overwhelmed a cannon emplacement and set fire to its powder stores, exploding a massive hole in the wall through which their army marched. The Drow, fierce warriors who pledged themselves to Selvatarm, god of war, leapt into battle with fervor. And if they weren't any match for the strength of their opponents, they were at least a match in will, and they fulfilled Selvatarm's demands that if they could not be victorious, they would die in battle, for they died in droves. As evening fell on Ambercliff Keep, as civilians raced for the governor's mansion in wild hopes that they might be saved, as buildings crumbled and fires gave the keep the coloring of its namesake, a war drum began to beat. Faster and faster, until it became a wall of thunder, and the honor guard of the Hammer of Ambercliff rushed into battle. There are 7 streets leading up to the governor's mansion in Ambercliff, and 7 Hammers of Ambercliff descended upon them like a tempest. These streets were all packed with Hemetetian soldiers who could not react in time to the absolute slaughter that fell upon them, attempting to call on their own magic, their blessing of Zanir, and finding it also gone. For an hour it seemed the tide had turned, but fire takes no sides in a war, and the fires burning the lower tiers of Ambercliff were climbing slowly and steadily higher, with the smoke turning combat into a race for survival through packed streets. Most of the Hammers were forced to retreat and make a final stand in the castle, but one Hammer, led by the infamous Captain Bastion Stonespear, charged straight into the flames, lighting themselves, their armor, and their weapons before absolutely decimating the Hemetetians. Further and further they pressed until they emerged outside the fire at the rear lines of the Hemetetian army. Lulled into thinking their siege work was done, they caught these people unawares and made quick work of a huge chunk of that army. As they finally took a moment to rest and clean their weapons, they were treated to a smoky view of Ambercliff Keep burning. Their valor meant nothing. For at the top of the hill, the other 6 Hammers were eventually overcome, and the keep was breached. Within the walls of the governor's mansion, civilians played dead or begged for their lives as the governor and his family were led to the balcony overlooking the city. There, they were methodically and efficiently hung before the building was set aflame with all remaining civilians inside it. However, in the tumult, nobody stopped to count the members of the governing family. Indeed, if they had, perhaps they'd have discovered the governor's youngest son missing. Perhaps they would have searched for him. Perhaps, had the Hemetetians not been choked on smoke and blinded by their battle rage, the Hemetetians might have noticed a loose floorboard in the boys' room. Perhaps, had their ranks not watched and cheered as a family hung over flames, the Hemetetians might have seen a small sack of what looked like trash rolling down the street, cleared out by that Hammer of Ambercliff. Perhaps they would have noticed many things, but even in the days following their victory, all any of the Hemetetians noticed was the silence of their god in victory. Sufficiently reprimanded by both of their gods, the Hemetetians and the Drow of neighboring Irongard made peace that very summer, and Ambercliff was left, for the moment, as a monument to the day they pushed their gods too far. But enough of history, for today's tale takes place on the west end of Urada, in a small cave beside some wheel ruts, where 4 unlikely companions were pretending to journey to the city of Tumbleweb in search of answers. Welcome back to the Wing Badger Tavern.
Zanir, Gaunteus, Kotix, Owara. Long ago, the 4 ancients created a world in harmony. Then, everything changed when the chat amped magic. Only Kelnor, master of good vibes, could stop them, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. 2 years have passed, and 4 adventurers have discovered a conspiracy, a company selling magic. And although their roleplay is great, they have a lot of XP to earn before they're ready to save anyone. But I believe they can save the world.
Everybody roll initiative.
Oh,
Wait,
snap.
already?
Oh,
Whoa.
I was grooving. Whoa.
Chat
Wait, we
redeemed
don't
a
roll
random
initiative?
encounter.
We don't roll initiative. That's not how you do encounters, Josh.
You're right. We don't normally roll initiative, but it felt good to say.
Boy, I'm sure glad because I got a 1.
All right.
Now that we know that we no longer need it.
Now that we know that we no longer need it, let's have a look at what's going on here. You have woken up after resting at your campfire, spending perhaps a day, maybe a day and an evening, going over your notes, looking into what you've learned, figuring out the pieces, the clues, putting things together. You wake up and immediately, Fox, you know something's not right. You see something zoom through the shadows, It whispers past you, whooshes past you, and the air running across your face tells you to alert your friends that combat is in the air, though you cannot yet see your attacker. You have 10 seconds, or 60 seconds to talk tactics, as Fox has alerted you to an incoming danger.
Everybody get
We
up!
started combat so fast that Josh forgot how it worked. All right.
Sometimes it do be like that.
Okay.
So we don't know we're fighting. Do we know if we're fighting anything?
We're in initiative. We know that much.
You've been surprised by something whooshing past your face into the shadows. That's what you know.
We're still in
All
the
right.
room, right?
Everybody
Yeah.
back into a circle and prepare an attack. That's what I vote.
I think that
I'm
sounds
good.
great.
I'm
up
rushing
on the
to
cart.
grab yeah, and then joining the circle.
I have my.
join the court. Yeah, get on the cart. High ground. We'll have the high
I think
ground.
that's a great idea. Get on the high ground. I am. Alan will
Are the
just
animals
stand
hooked up?
exactly the way he's standing in his little picture right now with his big old greatsword drawn.
Yeah, DM, are the animals hooked up?
The animals, no, you've probably deharnessed them for the night so they don't walk off with your cart. Like, tied them off.
Okay.
All right, 1 second here, and
I love the
go
hat,
ahead and tell
Jebediah.
me what you're doing. Let's start with Fox. What are you readying?
I'm getting on that cart and I'm readying attack. And I'm getting in such a position where I'm facing a direction, assuming the others will face other directions.
Great. Adding another die to the tension pool. Grubbug is on the game tonight.
Oh, man.
Washburnillo, what's
Yes.
Jebediah Peppermint doing?
Jeb is taking a defensive stance. He's holding his blunderbuss up. I'm gonna ready magic missile for if I see somebody, and I am fiercely guarding the most important thing, which is the crate of Wingle digits.
Okay. Owlin Woodrear, what are you doing?
Alan will follow Fox's lead on the getting on the cart and facing a direction so that we can all face different directions off the cart with weapon drawn and attack ready.
Great. And
That's what I'm saying.
Zothkug Hibub, our pacifist, what you doing?
Zothkug is running to grab yeah, and then he's like clutching the pot in front of him, looking around in a different direction than Alan and Fox.
Okay, so let's say you're at the foot of the cart, like you haven't climbed in, but your back is against the cart so that you can cover the fourth direction because you had to like
Okay.
get the pot and pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, at that moment,
I never rolled perception.
Fox, what's your AC, buddy?
Oh, it's 13.
Oop, yep. Okay, so something whizzes out of the darkness at you. You may use your prepared attack to attempt to strike it.
Oh, okay. Die. Let's see what we get. Ooh, almost an at 20. Okay, so if it's night, I'm probably using my daggers. Is the first thing I'd probably pull out.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm trying to role play here, okay? Rapier's my best weapon, but you know what? I'm not gonna pull that out right away. So I got my daggers. I rolled an 18 to hit. Does 18 hit?
An 18 does hit. You reach out with your dagger and you catch in mid-attack a beast that is it is dark and mostly arms, and it's reaching towards you with these webbed hands, attempting to grasp you around your throat. You can recognize this as a choker, a small aberration.
Also, Grubbug, Josh is the scary purple guy. That's just
That's
him
right.
all the time.
It's
always.
that's actually the video, and then this is the GIF of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have hit it. How much hit have you done to it?
I did it. A very massive 3.
All right, that is a massive 3. That
I mean,
I would say
it was
3 is
though.
massive. 3 is massive.
Let
Like,
the
it was-
record
it was-
show that the 3 was massive.
Yeah.
A
I think 3 is
capital
massive.
3. Capital 3.
All right, Jebediah Peppermint, do you want to take your turn next?
Do I see the creature?
Yeah, Fox has moved, so you all, although you were looking another direction, which is why you didn't get to attack it, you can, like, you know that Fox moved and attacked a thing. So he has caught this creature basically, like, with a slash as he reaches out towards it, and it's now, like, right up in his face, scrabbling at him, trying to grab hold of him.
I imagine I'm holding it back with my dagger.
Yeah, you're just like, no!
Magic missile. That's 9 points of force damage as he just kind of stuffs a little spell slot pellet down into his gun.
Great. Make a dexterity save, Fox, to hold onto your dagger as it gets pushed a little bit back from you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
16.
Okay, you successfully hold your dagger and draw it out, covered in like a weird sludgy green blood as it comes ripping out of the choker. The choker howls as it falls backwards, and it looks to be like it's kind of limping and weak and whatever. It draws in a deep breath like it's about to like bellow or do something. Owlin and Zothkug, since you both prepared, or just Alan, I guess, prepared an attack. So if you want, you can take your attack before it does whatever it's about to do.
Okay, I'll slice it up.
Slice that thing.
Slice and dice.
Slice.
having
24.
24. Is that to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, but what'd you roll to hit? Like you did 24 damage.
No, yeah, that
you
was
hit
it.
You got
Okay.
it.
How
How much slicey did you do?
I did 13 slashing damage.
Okay, you slash across that thing and literally like you cut its leg off. Just like shunk, and one
Nice.
webbed leg falls to the side. The creature, where it had like taken this breath and was about to do this cry, it like falls to the ground and clutches at the blood like it's trying to hold it in place, and it looks like it's on the brink of unconsciousness. Zothkug,
Ouchie.
what are you gonna do?
Is there enough space under the cart for the pot?
Sure.
Zothkog will like whisper into the pot, "Stay in here, little buddy." Slide it under, and then he's gonna go over to the. What does the creature look like again?
It's a choker. It's a humanoid, but it's not human. Like its arms are too long and its legs are too long, and it has webbing between its fingers and its toes. It's all black and it's covered in like a sort of sludge slime thing that makes it really hard to like grapple and hold onto, except on its webbed hands, which are like very, very sticky and tactile.
Zothkog will like turn and face it and just be like, "Hey man, we don't really want to hurt you. I can help you with those wounds if you're willing to listen and not attack us anymore."
The creature
just-
looks up at you, and it's like its eyes are a little bit unfocused, like it's right on the brink of passing out, and it just shrieks and leaps towards you, and it gets, well, let's see if it gets you or not. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
No, a 13 does not hit you. So it leaps towards you, but it's got a missing leg. You jump back out of the way, and that kind of
Whoa,
doesn't
man,
hit
not
you.
cool.
I'm assuming the other three of you are just going to hit it, but if you want a full 60 seconds, this is the time to talk tactics.
Zug! Don't try to talk down the thing that's killing us. How do you know? It's probably just an animal. Like, what are you doing?
Maybe we scared it, man.
Scared it. It scared us. It jumped us.
It's probably more afraid of us than we are of it, man.
I doubt that very much.
20 seconds.
While they're talking, I got another spell locked and loaded.
Sure.
They're just talking, and I'm just like, doom, doom, doom.
Do you want to just go ahead and do it?
Well, wait,
I'm gonna take
before
time to pull
the
out my
time's up,
rapier.
Yeah.
I know it's over. I was born a choker. No one's
It's
coming for me.
Actually, the whole party is coming for him.
Anyway, that's all I had to say.
Bruh.
Okay.
Cool.
Frostbite.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeb.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Frostbite at the choker. He's got to make a con save.
It fails. It's
That
missing a leg.
is-
It's not feeling the most resilient.
3 cold damage.
3 cold damage. It just like you see the kind of cut where its leg is missing sort of ices over, and then it finally like goes still and sighs out of breath and just sort of begins resting, and you are back at your campfire
Hey!
with combat having concluded.
Wait. It's not dead though.
Yeah, it's dead.
Oh,
It
yeah,
went.
you said
It went
resting.
into eternal rest.
No,
was
as
a
if
very
it was
long
resting.
rest.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's died. Thanks, chat, for triggering a random
I-
encounter. Remember,
clarify.
if you want to influence the adventure, take a look at what you can do with all those feathers at the bottom left of the chat box there.
DM.
All right.
Could I inspect its body?
Yeah,
I was going to say, does it look edible?
Roll survival.
Jebediah wonders, is this edible? Zothkug wonders, is this inedible? They are not the same.
You're not the same.
19.
19. It does not look edible. You were
that's a bummer.
fairly confident it would be somewhat toxic to eat. Zothkug, you may inspect it if you want. What are you looking for?
Just observing the creature since it's something I've never seen before and seeing if it had any things on it.
Sure. It does not have any items on it or anything. It has cartilage rather than like a bony skeleton, so it's like this really flexible, kind of limp, squishy like thing with these slimy arms and legs and everything. Well, I guess leg. And it's got these really sharp teeth. Like you're pretty sure it's carnivorous.
Okay.
That's a third die in the tension pool. Tensions are ratcheting up tonight. You're gonna kick it.
Don't eat it, Zoth.
I'm gonna kick it and be like, Zoth, look at this, man. Like this isn't something you talk to, okay?
I mean, it's not going to do you any good now.
Those flumps were pretty capable of speech. I don't know what's capable of speech and everything.
And the flumps didn't come at us with like tentacles and sharp teeth.
They literally came at us with tentacles.
I will say the action of this creature was first and foremost aggressive. It's the first thing it did in our presence was attack us, while the flumps simply floated over to us. And they did have tentacles, but they did not use them aggressively.
I'm just saying, man.
And I'm just saying, you never know what is going to have the intelligence and capability of understanding and listening to reason.
Or is that thing going to die? I'm going to tell you the answer real quick. And it's not me.
I'll be like, all right, man, I hear what you're saying, and I disagree with it on a fundamental level, but that's okay, man.
All right, Zoth, we're gonna have to sit down and have this chat one of these days.
It's a disagreeing
this
vibe.
Chat, man. We've been walking through the woods so much together. I feel like we would have had this talk already.
You said forest and wood.
Yeah, we never had something like this come at us. Okay, I'm just saying.
I do find it somewhat ironic that we did fight other creatures such as spiders and like people who were trying to kill us, vampire type entities that seemed to be wanting to kill us as well. And Zothkug never did bat an eye or raise any objections previously.
Yeah. Are you shapist? Are you speciest?
Okay, so now in Zoth's defense, this thing does kind of look like a person. Like it is kind of humanoid. The other things have been kind of monstrous. So, I mean, you gotta give it to him.
The vampire creatures were literally people that had been corrupted. They were human beings at some point.
I didn't see those. I didn't see any of those.
That was a different situation, man.
I am not quite sure whether it was. I simply went along with this because of my soldier training and that I know that when something attacks me, it generally will not listen to reason, and it is often best to best it in combat at that point.
That's smart.
However, Zothkug simply never raised this question before.
That you killed a more humanoid-looking thing, but this is the one you try to talk down?
I am not a shapist, Belly. It's Zothkug. Zothkug is a shapist, not me.
I never killed anything, man. What? That was a different situation. We went into their house and were stealing their things. They were rightfully.
I will say, I do not believe that the moral argument that you did not land the killing blow is valid here. You did aid in our killing of the other creatures.
So wait, Zothkug, I need to process this. Something wanders into the cave that we have made home, right? This is into our encampment, tries to kill us, you try to talk it down. But you barge into someone else's home and you beat them up, but it's fine because you didn't get the last kill.
I didn't beat them up. I didn't touch them.
I will say, I do think that in some ways this logical progression does make sense because previously he was the one intruding, and now that someone is intruding on his space, he thinks, oh wow, when I was doing that to other people, I didn't want them to kill me. So, therefore, he doesn't want us to kill
don't
it.
Don't put words in his mouth. Don't put words in his mouth. Okay?
I still
Thank you
think
very much, Alan.
I did not finish. I still believe his moral argument is completely false. It does not make any sense. However, I do think in that specific situation, his logic may not be sound, but I can see how it could at least exist.
All right, at least thank you for agreeing that it makes, Zoth, we're going to have to talk about this, okay? Just right now, can somebody help me move this?
84,
I don't want this near us.
85, 86. Yep, they're still all in the crate, guys. We're good. Everything's safe.
I'm gonna go over to the cart and grab make sure he's okay.
Yeah,
hey, buddy,
it's just
you
fine.
okay, man?
He just nods.
Okay.
Alan, can you help me move this thing out of we gotta find somewhere else to put this. I'm not resting or even speaking near this thing in the ground, okay?
Are we
sure.
on
Yeah, I
like
can help with that.
softish dirt?
No, you're on stone. It's
Oh, we're on
a
stone.
cavern.
Okay. Got it. Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Where are we trying to take this thing, Fox?
We could, if we're leaving,
hey,
we
man.
could put him on the fire. We could just burn the body.
The only way to make this
Our-
right is to kill your next opponent with the corpse of the choker. What?
Wait.
Is that more your soldier training, Alan?
Is what?
Is that more of your soldier training? That seems a little weird.
No, I was simply reading the chat.
Oh, okay.
Chat.
Who you chatting with, man?
All right. Let's cut the meta before it gets too meta. So Jeb, you mentioned something about throwing it in the fire. Do you think it's edible?
Oh no, absolutely not. That was, I mean, I tip my hat to you, good sir. That was where my mind went immediately because, yeah, these rations are getting pretty stale. But no, you keep your chompers away from that stuff.
Because Fox always likes to double check. Fox wants to do his own survival check. And I got a 9.
You think it might
Yep.
be edible? I mean, you're not sure how it would taste, but it might be edible.
I don't know, man. Maybe if you just cooked it enough. It just, get
It's
the
not a
slime out.
marshmallow. It's not like you're gonna give it a black exterior and then down in the middle is that sweet, tasty white goo.
Wait, I would like to.
Well,
I would like
let's-
to question. Simply, do you burn your marshmallows, Jebediah?
Well, no, I don't try to. I like them roasted just a little bit. I mean, that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. I like them mildly toasted so that they're just
that is the correct
really
answer.
brown.
I appreciate that. Yes.
But the thing is that you get to talking. I mean, you know me. You get to talking. You accidentally leave one in there. You shake the stick around a little bit and get all the black carbon off, and there's still that good little gooey spot in there. I mean, you don't want to waste it.
that does
Hey,
make
hey,
sense.
Hey, man. I'll always eat a marshmallow, but I agree. Burnt marshmallow's bad, but if you made that, you own up to it and you eat
In
it.
my experience, I
Okay.
don't generally burn the marshmallow because of socializing. It's generally because I start staring into the fire and thinking about how the fire was created and why the fire exists. And
Yeah.
it still amazes
tracks.
me to this day that fire. We have yet
Yeah,
to
Jeff, it
we have
does.
yet to define what fire is. Same with lightning. We may have harnessed it. We may have harnessed the ability of
Hey,
guide
Zoth,
electricity.
what is your
However, we
opinion on
simply do not know what it
marshmallows?
is.
Yeah, no,
Marshmallows
it's like
are really good, man. Golden brown, perfect.
All right, I'm glad we've all had
Unanimous
this conversation.
agreement. This is perfect.
Now I'm gonna pull out my dagger and slice this thing open and see what it looks like on the inside, and see if it's edible.
is Fox still bloody and stuff from when this thing was latched onto him?
It never quite latched onto him. He stopped it with his dagger,
okay.
so he's probably just got some of the slimy goop on his chest where it tried to
Okay.
grab him.
Hey, dude,
gonna,
you kind of smell because of that stuff on you. And Jeb,
Well, hey man,
Jeb takes his blunderbuss and points it at him point blank, right in front of his chest, and clicks the trigger, and it's almost like a hairdryer. He's just bzzz, and I'm going to use prestidigitation and just clean all the gook off of him. Just
Okay.
wow, man, thanks.
I
I
am-
didn't know how I was gonna get this out of my clothes here.
Bro.
I mean, you got to be presentable when you infiltrate a secure location.
I mean, true, but there's still a ways. I mean, all right, I'm doing this. DM, I cut it open. What does it look like on the inside?
Yeah, luckily you guys gave me a little time to Google inside of a choker in case that was a thing.
Gross.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
It is just it has some guts and gore and stuff inside it. I don't know what you
yummy.
want from me. It looks
color
like a
is the
dead
flesh?
thing on the inside. It's green and
What
purple.
color?
It's goopy and spooky.
Goopy and spooky.
The green is goopy and the purple is spoopy. I mean, that tracks.
Exactly.
It's like,
Um,
All right.
Kind of slimy, smells bad.
See, I mean,
yeah.
That's how
if it
people
was
describe
red,
me all the time. So it's
if it was red, it'd be edible, but it's green and purple, so it's goopy
Now-
and spoopy. You don't want to eat that, man. I'm telling you.
I hear you out, Jeb, but let's see what color it turns. All right,
it's
I
like
cut
that
off,
TikTok
a
sound,
little-
like let's see what's inside. Sorry, go ahead.
I cut off a little piece of the flesh, and I put it on a stick and I put it over a campfire.
Owlin, have you been talking to
Roll a
Fox about the
survival
scientific
check,
method?
I guess. Roll it with
I have
disadvantage.
not discussed the scientific method with Fox. However, I do believe
9.
Did
it
you
would
roll
be
with
difficult
disadvantage?
to create a control
Yes,
in this
because
scenario,
I got a
or at least
non-nat
Yeah, I
20
know,
at
right?
first.
Okay.
because he's simply we do not have
It's
other
the
meat
same
to
color.
roast.
You roast it with your marshmallow roasting technique, which we've already established, and it stays the same. It's still green and purple. It's still goopy and spoopy with little sludge gore dripping off of it. It's just now it's a little bit warmer.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're
I
right,
do not
Jeb.
believe this.
So what
meat
you're
will
saying is
cook.
that it's fire resistant.
Ooh. Now that's interesting. All right. I'm gonna dig around in my backpack, which I haven't actually opened up in forever.
So
what
if
do
you
I
played
got
it in my
here?
mixtape, it would not. Its life would not
Okay.
be changed, which is
I'm
too bad.
Ooh. Anybody got like a empty jar? empty flask?
Oh,
He says, waving a stick with a piece of meat on the end.
let me check.
No, I don't. I'm fresh out of them.
I'm fresh
Out of mason jars.
I have a water skin, but I assume it has
Ah.
water in it, and I don't want to give it to you.
Can I roll? I'm not trained in it. Can I roll Arcana to figure out whether or not this is fire resistant?
No.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fox,
I throw it in the fire. I just throw the whole thing in the fire.
It burns.
you seem determined. If you want to, I have a sheath with no sword. If you wanted to fill it up
No,
with this stuff,
As
you're
you
welcome
say that,
to.
he's already tossed it in the
No.
fire, and it's starting to burn and like turn
Oh,
into
okay.
little like ashes and embers.
It's fine. You know,
It's now
had
the
an
whole
idea.
cave where you've made your camp smells horrible.
Oh, that's great.
It smells like vomit mixed with stagnant water.
all right, we gotta get out. I'm sorry. It's my fault. We get out of here. Let's get out. We gotta get out.
Why would
put
you
the whole body
do
on it.
this?
You put the whole body on you.
Hopefully, it'll attract stuff away from us, and we'll just skedaddle.
Alan, can you help me pick this up?
I will
I'm gonna,
say,
start
I
hooking
do
up the
believe
animals
throwing the
and
entire
harnessing
body
them,
on the
Josh.
fire may be
Okay.
helpful in our scenario because it will attract maybe our pursuers
Shut
to
up
this cave,
and pick
sidetracking them from
shut
our
up and
eventual
pick up the
destination, and
body.
it will simply be infused by this weird smell for a little bit.
Solid roll animal handling.
And it
Here
can
we
serve
go.
as a warning to other jokers.
Exactly. It's not about
Shut up and
winning;
pick
it's
up
about
the
sending a
body.
message.
Oh,
Hey, Fox,
that's
you
a
got that
7.
thing hooked up yet?
Yes,
Alan, help me with
yes,
this.
I am. And Alan goes and
That's a 7, Josh.
Okay, it's a 7. You attempt again to convince the deep rote that you've been using to pull this cart to harness themselves because you really don't know anything about harnessing them, and they don't cooperate. They're just like, nah, man. So you've like untied them from wherever you stabled them overnight, and they're just looking at you like, bro, I don't know.
I'm gonna ask you, hey man, could you set up that connection again with these guys so I can talk to them?
Yeah, like covering his little mushroom nose is like, and spores like come out and they sort of like waft through the air towards it, and then turns around and gives like the most horrible stink eye ever to Fox, just like
I'm sorry. Okay.
And then with the new connection, I'll be like, hey guys, don't you want to get away from the smell? This is how we do it, man.
please, yes, anything. They walk over and they harness themselves. They like walk over, they like duck under the harness. All you have to do is tie a couple knots. They're just like, yes, anything, please. Let's be going.
All right, guys, I got them hooked up. Let's go. By the way,
All
the
right.
group hears me talk out loud to them.
Alan, on 3. We're gonna toss it. 1, 2, 3.
And you do. You
Yep.
toss it onto the fire. Now it's on the fire. The smell intensifies. Roll Constitution
Go, go,
saves.
go, go.
Roll Constitution saves. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I just want you guys to know
no.
that we didn't start the fire.
It was always burning
It's
while the
time
world was turning. I got a 9.
All right, I see a 7 of the 9.
Oof.
All right. I got a 13.
All right. What did you get, Jeb?
Oh, was I rolling for that too?
Constitution save.
Sorry, I got a 19 plus some jazz. 21.
Jeb.
Jeb is totally
Plus some
unaffected,
jazz.
and the other 3 of you are all like sick to your
Oh,
stomach.
no.
nauseous.
Blah.
You're not throwing up. You just like it's right there at the tip of your throat. You're like, oh, I can't. I gotta get out of here.
Don't make me think about the
kinda-
tip of my throat. That sounds
Please,
so
we gotta
weird.
go.
I don't like that. Ugh.
It kind of harkens back to when he found his grandpa dead in that room, and you know how
Yeah.
he like tied that little rag thing around his nose. He's got the same thing going on right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Once we're underway a little bit.
Get the animals moving.
Yeah, they're going. They're going.
We're going. We're on.
And so
We're off.
you're going. You head off into the spoopy, mysterious world of the Underdark. There, as a reminder, you're kind of like in the like proper Underdark. So it's like all caverns and connected caves with strange fauna growths and little drippy sounds and stalactites and stalagmites everywhere. There's no real logic or order to it, except that there's this one set of wheel tracks that have been crushed into the stone, probably by the weight of other carts that have traveled this route that you're on. Are you going north towards Tumbleweb, where you believe the dark site is, or are you going south towards Dig Site 6, where you came from?
Dark site.
Yep.
Yeah, real quick, out of character. We all agreed on
Yeah.
dark side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
Josh.
Yes.
go ahead.
While we're underway, I'm gonna just check on and specifically look at how the moss is doing.
Sure. Is just chilling in the pot. The moss has like wilted and turned back into a moss. It is not a vine anymore because all the leaves have come off of it.
Okay.
Also, just you can have a conversation with or whatever if you want. I'm adding 1 die to the tension pool just for the passage of time as you're traveling. Did you want to say anything to
Be like, hey, little dude, I know it's been a bit since our check-in. Do you have any questions about what's happened or any statements, comments?
A peer review? Adventure peer review?
Well, he wants to learn.
I have been learning many things just by observing. It has been nice to not be sneaking for a bit and just be able to look around. I'm fascinated by the cave formations, and I am very much enjoying seeing the different parts of these caves. I have never been into caves before journeying with you. What do you call those? And he points up at some stalactites hanging off the ceiling.
Those are stalactites, man.
Why are they like that?
So you see, when water...
Ooh, I read this in a book once. So, so when one of the gods, right, got really angry, he set up a trap for all of the dark beings, and these are the traps. But it only falls on dark beings.
Actually, it is actually, as Zothkug began to explain, the formation of deposits of minerals as water with minerals inside them. Water driplets began to drip from the ceiling of the caves. The minerals would then build up over time, creating a formation of a rock that's pointed downward because, as you might be able to see as you look up, sometimes there is still water dripping from the tips of them, which then makes them longer and creates more stalactites.
When we say
that
a
would
long
take
time,
forever, though.
we mean like hundreds of thousands of years, man. Also, if a droplet falls on your head, it's good luck.
This is, well, the first part of that
They're
is
also
true.
called
The second part,
stalactites because they hold tight to the ceiling.
Ooh.
So how do the minerals act as traps from the gods that are also good luck?
They don't, man.
that is correct. They do not.
That's just folklore.
What are minerals?
Minerals are the particulates of what makes up a rock. And they also, some people believe, if they're inside of the water that you drink, are healthy for you. Some people believe they give you rejuvenated immune system, which is another experimental term that we believe is the part of your body that keeps you from getting sick. It's all very interesting.
Yeah,
This is how we
looks
got
up,
on education TikTok.
yeah, looks up at Alan with like wide eyes, and he goes, "You know many things. Thank you for sharing."
You're welcome.
And he like walks over and gives you a little hug that like it
Aw.
comes up to like your ankle, because he's
The
a
best
mushroom
hug
and you're
is
a
a
barbarian.
hug.
Alan pats Yaz's head.
Just like stoops down
Yeah.
and pets him on the little mushroom cap.
When gets back from the hug, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey man, I don't know. That guy says some crazy stuff. So you telling me water formed this stuff? Does that make sense to you?
It is confusing since it looks like rock and not water. But there are many things that I do not know, and hopefully by traveling with you I will learn much of them so that I can send that information home to Groot in a spore. It's been a while since I wrote a spore to Groot. Maybe I
And she
should
wrote
do
back?
that. And he climbs back
can
into
send
the pot,
spores?
and he just begins, like, he puts his little hands in front of his little mushroom cap, and you see, like, a spore slowly forming at the tip of his mushroom cap and, like, falling down into his hands.
Nice.
And after a little while, he just tosses it into the air, and it kind of wafts away.
So
Did Groot?
That's a thing.
Hey man, did Groot respond to your first one?
No, but we are a very long way away, and it may not have made it back yet. Spores travel with the wind, so it takes them a while to get where they're going.
Makes sense, man.
is there wind present in the Underdark?
What?
Yeah, there. I mean, it's
Yeah, can you
it's-
feel it? It's like Jeb
Yeah.
licks his finger and holds it out. See?
I had never noticed this before. Very interesting.
It's a network of
Um,
twisty caverns, so anytime they open up, that air is going to be changing temperature as it raises towards the surface. So, as it changes temperature, it generates wind.
Hey, yeah. Is it possible for some more leaves to come from this moss?
I have been thinking about that, but I think the plant must be looking for. He looks at Owlin. Minerals.
minerals. Perhaps it is looking
Yes,
for minerals.
yes. I think maybe the plant is looking for those because it has been a while since we had planted it in the ground, and I remembered that when we put it on the ground is when it became all viney and turned into, grew all of those leaves. And so I have been trying to care for it, but it does not seem that anything I do is making a difference now. It seems like maybe this plant has attuned to you, and it needs something that I do not have to provide it.
Interesting. All right, man. I'll try and spend some time with it. And Zoth is going to sit down immediately with the moss and just convene with it in a spiritual manner.
What does convening with a plant in a spiritual manner mean to you? I need clarity before I figure out whether you learn anything. Like, are you just gonna hum next to it, or are you gonna examine it, or like what does this mean?
Make
I'm
sure it's
going
classical
to-
music.
Going to examine it and then perform sort of like the religious like prayer that I would to try and contact like a god, but instead I'm trying to like telepathically reach out to this plant and like feel its energy.
Roll nature with advantage because you got a long time to kind of look into this, and you know a lot about plants. Like you've smoked a lot of plants. Let's be clear what I mean by know a lot about plants.
Is this the D20? No, that's the D12. There we go. That advantage gives me 21.
That's a pretty good roll. Chat suggests putting a leaf under your tongue, so I just want to clarify it. Chat, it's moss now, so it turned into a vine when they found some way to like supercharge it with magic or something like that, and that vine had leaves which he could use to cast spells. But each time he used a leaf, like that leaf would wilt off the plant, and so he's used up all the leaves, and it's now reverted back into its mossy state. With your 21, you're kind of thinking about what Yas said and what you know about plants and stuff, and you have access to dirt down here. Like the floor is stone, but like there's dirt in the Underdark. So you're pretty sure it's not that. You're thinking maybe it just needs sunlight. Like some plants just don't grow when they don't get sunlight, and that could be the problem here.
Hey,
Doesn't this
Jed,
cart?
man,
Yeah. What's up?
do you possess the magical ability to simulate sunlight?
No, I mean that's a pretty powerful spell. I can make fire. I could like light up some torches and stuff, but not really anything super light. Like, and Jeb kind of like tinks one of the little dancing light spheres that are like suspended on the carts, And he's like, remember, there were some big ones, though, like this, that were back at the camp. So, I mean, that technology exists, but I don't have anything on me. What I do have, though, is in the meantime, and Jeb hands him his cipher. This is just going to be a stopgap. Don't stop focusing on your plant because you're important to the team, and we need your ability to get us out of my mistakes. And
Hey,
I'm
man,
going to take the next
you
15 minutes or so.
have good ideas. They just need a little bit of a push in the right direction.
I mean, functional, yes, but Alan's shoulder needed a push back in the left direction, and
This is generally why we have
but-
a team dynamic. We all bring different roles to the table. Yours is generally crazy idea that generally somehow works, and ours are usually finding a way to make Jeb's crazy idea actually work.
Speaking
I
of
would
everybody
say
bringing different things to
creative
the
idea.
table, as this conversation is happening, Fox, you happen to just glance up, into the kind of the darkness surrounding the cart. As we recall, you do not have dark vision, so you can only see maybe 10 or 15 feet to each side of the cart in, whatever little kind of glow and dimness you can see. But you notice just out of the corner of your vision, something moves behind a small crevice on the eastern side of the path. It's masked almost entirely by a pair of stalagmites that cross like an X. In fact, you wouldn't have seen it at all, except for the brief glint of something that kind of flashed at you from the east side of the path. As you squint to the area and try to verify what you might have seen, you can't make anything out.
Hey, Jeb.
Yeah. What?
Jeb. Look over. I think I just saw something. Can you look over there? Do you see?
I'm looking over there. What do I see?
You've got the superior dark vision, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll. You can
Cool.
see a tall, lean humanoid figure slowly stepping back into a small crevice and then turning and walking away from you and the party.
Any features like clothing or anything like that?
Okay, do roll a perception check. Let's see how much you can make out of his detail.
Now, I would be remiss to let you know that even though I have superior dark vision, if this is still, if it's pitch black, I would see in dim light, which means disadvantage for perception checks.
Okay.
Ooh, not good. I got an 8 and a 1.
Was the one a natural one?
Yes, it was. Do
Yeah,
I need to confirm that?
You don't need to confirm it. You can't make out any details other
I
than
rolled another natural 1.
I'm glad that I didn't make you confirm it because you might have gone blind.
He didn't have clothes, and I went blind.
Yeah. No. You can tell that he was tall and lean, but you don't know any other details about the humanoid. It was already walking backward into the crevice to kind of vanish in its cover before you looked over. So that's what's happening.
I think I saw maybe it was some running. I don't know.
No, there was something back there. It was humanoid. It was up on 2 legs, but it's
Are we
it's
stopping
moved
to
out of
go
my.
check it out?
Well, I'm thinking it might be another
No.
one of those choker things. It was
No.
tall and skinny and lean, and we don't really if it. Okay, so let's pull an Owlin and think of this logistically, right? If it was dangerous, it just went away. We can move on. If it was friendly, we don't really need help right now. We can move on. And if it was just neutral and curious, it's doing its own thing. So let's just be a little on guard in case it comes back. But I think we just move on.
I like that. Maybe I need to pull an Owlin.
I appreciate that. I will I will draw my sword and continue to be on guard. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Just kind of being on
Got my
guard.
hand on my rapier.
You didn't mention the
hand on my
last
rapier.
option, Jeb, man.
What's the last option? Just go and stop what we're doing and help the individual?
No, it could be following us.
In that case,
I mean,
it may be.
that's why I said we should just be on our guard in case they follow
Should-
us. But you're right. They
So,
might.
Jeb, I believe you can see the best in the dark. I believe it may be beneficial for you to continue to periodically make safety checks around what's going on.
Jeb was just blessed by chat as
There you
well,
go.
so he gets a D4 that he can add to a roll of his choosing. I
Oh
believe.
my gosh,
Let me check
bless.
before I say that.
Thank you,
Hashtag-
Grubba.
Whether they
Hashtag
make a
blessed.
save or attack roll, they may choose before rolling to add 1d4 to the roll.
There you go.
Save or attack.
Okay, so it can't
Yep.
be a check, but that's okay.
Yeah. So would you like to make like a lookout perception check? Any of you?
Yeah, for like this next leg of the trip.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it at disadvantage as well? Because we're in dark light
Yeah.
Oh no.
or dim light.
Dang, that's tough.
Oof, not good. I tell you what, guys, I can see, but it's not worth beans. Like I can see that there's stuff out there, but I don't know what it is. I got a 9.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry, that's upside down. That's a 6.
Dang.
The cart continues slowly bumping along the path. Out here in the sort of wild of the Underdark, there is no like smooth ground. There's little rocky bumps and juts, and there are stalagmites coming out of the ground and things, and it's just very slow going. So where normally a cart like this being pulled by 2 pack animals might be able to cover the whole 90 miles to Tumbleweb in a day, you guys are more likely to make maybe 20 or 30 miles of progress on this first day by the end of it, just because of the slow going and the way that everything is. But you do notice the ground here is quite dry and clean, unlike the kind of mucky ground that was near Dig Site 6. Go ahead.
Could I do a couple things?
Yeah,
Just
go
like
ahead.
to finish that day out.
Yep.
Well, and we can just expedite this. I wanted to give Zoth the cipher that Jeb found.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain to him how to use it. I'm going to give him the Cure Wounds first level spell scroll.
Okay.
And enough Wingle digits to fire it off.
Great. So that's 10 Wingle digits.
10 Wingle digits. And I can, if you have them, you can use those. If you don't, I'll top you off to get to 10.
Hey,
Cool.
man, question. Is there a way to just convert this to magical energy? I don't need the ciphers. I know this spell.
This is all right, so this is just a stopgap, right? I have full, like I was planning on giving this to Fox or Owlin, just to have another backup healer. But this is just, you're familiar with curative spells, so this is for you to have just in case while you're working out your moss.
You could call him a
stuff.
curator of curative spells.
As you
Yeah.
as you come around a corner, the cart shudders to a halt as the 2 Deep Rothe pack animals, they're basically oxen that are pulling the cart, find their way blocked by a massive boulder. Now you can go around this boulder either to the left if you're willing to risk breaking a wheel in a pockmarked set of ground that's really covered in stalagmites, or you could go to the right if you're willing to work your way through a large, dense growth of fungi so dense and tall that it climbs as high as Owlin's shoulders and limits visibility to 5 feet. The ceiling of the cavern is only 15 feet total, and the boulder is occupying 10 feet of it.
The boulder is not amused by a blind girl. Okay.
Let's stay
What
in
kind of
character.
fungi is it?
I may have some stuff. You go ahead, Fox, if you think that the fungi is doable.
All right. So, guys, can we just move the rock? Cause listen, man, I don't want to go. Yeah, no offense to you, I don't want to go through that. Okay, that's I don't know what's in there. It's dark. I could already not see far. Next thing you know, I could probably see no.
Yeah is
And over
perched
there-
on the lip of the pot, leaning towards the dense fungi, and he goes, "I have never seen so many. They
Think they're like you and talk?
entangled."
Well, hey,
Didn't we?
listen, man.
Did we see
Entangled
some
how?
patches like this where they screeched?
Yeah,
I
see?
do
Jeb's
not.
got the
I
right
do not
idea.
see any shriekers from here, but I cannot see very far.
Do you believe?
Yeah,
the
reaches out a
way-
hand to try and touch one of the fungi. He says they do not appear to be communicating. He pulls his hand back.
I'm gonna try to move the rock.
Okay.
I know it's futile,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try anyway.
Go ahead and roll. I suppose
Zoth
you
will-
might get a
will help.
natural 20.
I did not.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Jebediah Peppermint's got his hand up.
Oh, Zoth said he was going to help. Did you get that in there as
Oh,
well?
no, I didn't. Zoth, go ahead and also roll a strength check.
That is a 15.
Okay. Together, you are still unable to move it.
I guess Alan might as well. First, before Alan tries to help move it, he's gonna ask, "Yeah, do you believe if we moved extremely slowly, you could guide us through the tall patch of fungi?"
I am not sure. They do not seem to be willing to communicate with me, so I could not simply ask them to get out of our way or let us through.
Interesting.
I worry that we might hurt them if we try to push our way through.
Okay.
We don't want that.
Alan will also roll strength.
All right.
Jeb's
you
got
know
his hand
what,
up, so I just
guys?
want to see what he's got to say, and then we'll let you roll. What's up?
I wanted to try a thing on the stalactite side because I can mold earth now.
Okay, you roll strength. Let's figure out how Jeb's
I only
thing
got a
goes.
10.
Okay, yeah, you are unable. So the three of you are like out of the cart in front, trying to kind of like push this
Yep.
boulder, and Jeb
No.
kind of walks to your left. What are you doing, Jeb?
So mold earth says that I can affect a 5-foot cube of stone or dirt. It has to be unworked, so like not a building stone.
Okay.
And I can like change it. I can excavate it. I can move it around. I can cause it to become shapes and colors. I can,
Okay.
pile it up or create. I could essentially create rough terrain or take rough terrain and smooth it out, and
I
it
see.
lasts for an hour. And it's a cantrip, so I can just like it's probably going to be slow. So,
Right.
but I could sit out front and kind of like and they'll just kind of like
Like
melt these things
vacuum
down
up the
into some.
stalagmites.
Yeah, and then like plop it back down and where the holes are, just kind of like Minecraft, dig it up
what-
and fill it out.
What's your passive perception, buddy?
My passive perception, also known as my PP, is 11. No,
Word.
We got banned
10.
on Twitch right when he said that.
Okay. You head over to the side where the stalagmites are to try and do this. The other three are attempting to move the boulder as you do this. And you lean down to cast Mold Earth, and you recognize the telltale signs of Mold Earth having been cast on this ground that's right next to the boulder. In fact, it looks like the boulder might normally rest here and has been intentionally moved using Mold Earth onto the road.
guys,
Yeah, man.
I think somebody's been through here before me. And Jeb just kind of like turns back to everybody while they're heaving hoeing on that rock. I got some magic I can use here to kind of move this ground, like to smooth it all out. And it looks like somebody has already been here and used this same spell to cause this.
Fox and Owlin, as he turns towards you, you can see behind him in the field of stalagmites, you see like many people standing up, and you see drawn bows.
But I have
Wait,
like
wait.
no idea who would have been here before us. So I say we go this way. I mean,
Yes, Fox.
Would I see that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
The arrows on the bows are glinting.
Right.
They're glinting just a little
So
bit.
hey,
like,
hey Jeb.
better to do
Jeb.
this than brave the mushrooms, I say.
Wait. Hey Jeb, you see that stalagmite right next to you?
What, that one there?
Yeah. Could you just like, I want to see if it matches your body shape, and I like nudge Owlin, like,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, boop, 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 boop,
Alternately,
yeah. I mean, it kind of. If I look at my hat, does my hat line up?
Yeah, you know what? Just stay right.
I
there.
think it may be beneficial to get to the other side of the boulder and go through the fungi. I think that
I really don't think so. I
think-
mean, I don't think this is going to be a problem to magic down. I mean, it's already been done once. I could just do it.
Do I
Zothka,
see
now
them?
that they're like looking in that direction and kind of being a little sus, you are also able to see you can see several humanoids standing up with bows drawn, kind of in the shadowy
Well-
depths of the field.
I mean, Jeb, we never know. What if that could be someone's home? We don't know, and we know this is the road, so we should probably just stay on the road. You know?
I mean, you make a good point, but I
Zoth-
would say that the mushrooms are probably more likely to be someone's home. So,
Zoth is
No,
not good
we
at
just moved the
hiding his
boulder.
facial expressions, so he's just like,
Is he
pointing.
waving? Is that
No,
I can't?
he's like
You gotta
pointing.
narrate. Oh,
Sorry,
he's pointing.
pointing.
Zoth is just like freaking out and pointing past you now. At that,
Zoth.
as he does that, at that very moment, there are. Wait, let's switch our music to danger. Okay, at that very moment, as he points out into the distance, 3 of the people with their bows drawn leap forwards, and you can make out the sort of dirt-covered, tall faces of Drow warriors. Each of them is outfitted in a long set of flowing amber robes, like a toga, over top of like plate. You can see the shapes of plate armor underneath it. And they have 3 bows drawn, and then behind those 3 warriors are 3 more who are holding a quiver at the ready for those warriors. At the same time as you register all this, from behind you, you hear a voice say, "Surrender there, and perhaps we'll kill you quickly." You turn around, and there are more Drow on the other side of you with scimitars drawn.
Well, Owlin knows about the Drow, right? Like, Owlin, I would assume...
Yeah, I mean, you've studied military, so you know about that military conflict in Ambercliff. Like, you know they exist. You don't necessarily know, like, all Drow intimately.
Does Owlin know that they're... You know, like, if I studied military history and I know the Drow, like... I feel like this is probably within Owlin's character to surrender in this moment because they're outnumbered and it's Drow. I don't know. But also, kill you quickly is not necessarily a good sign.
Zoth has his hands up. He's like, "Whoa, guys, we can talk this out, man. No one needs to die."
You know, like, along his words, you know, that's a very convincing, right? Convincing. But, see, I have this thing where, like, I don't want to die. So, you know, I'm not sure if I can accept that, you know. It's...
Owlin will sheath his long sword and put his big beefy arms up. And I say, I do believe we can come to some sort of agreement here if we do talk this out. There's no need for conflict here.
Go ahead and roll. Is diplomacy a thing, or is it persuasion in 5e?
Persuasion, yeah.
Yeah, roll persuasion with advantage, because you're a military dude. You know how to talk to military dudes.
Zoth is just like
I
nodding
mean, like he
and
knows
agreeing.
stuff like, you know, rules of engagement and stuff
Nat
like
20.
that. So that would give him an edge.
Nat
Sorry?
20.
Nat 20.
Should I roll to
Okay, yeah.
confirm?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll to confirm. We'll see how convincing you are, but you have definitely de-escalated the
14 to
situation
confirm?
from a fight. Okay, that does confirm. So they look at you, and the one in front goes, "You a soldier?"
I am. I served in... Where did I serve in? How did I serve? Who am I?
It doesn't matter. You
Okay,
tell him
yeah.
that story. How does a soldier who marched on Rust Free wind up down here?
It is quite an interesting story, one that I do believe your people will find very of interest.
But how? And he lifts up his scimitar and throws it. It arcs end over end and stabs right into the Bright World Company crest on the side of the cart. How did you end up working for them?
We are, like you, against the Bright World Company. We stole this cart from Dig Site 6, which, as you probably well know, is that way, south. We investigated this dig site. We snuck our way into it. We found out, tried to discover what they were doing there, and now we are on our way to attempt to dismantle what the Bright World Company is doing down here, because, like you, we do not believe they have any business down here.
2 of the soldiers run over to the cart and kind of leap up onto it to inspect like what you're carrying with you while the leader continues talking to you. You sound convincing. Your posture seems right. I think we ought to take these ones back to the captain. He'll know what to do with them. What do you say, boys? They're like, yeah, fine. We'll let you live for now. Come with us. There doesn't need to be any fuss.
Gladly.
They turn around, and as they turn around, you see them raise like scratched and worn ciphers. And the one on the cart goes, "We found some," and he tosses a couple of Wingle digits over to them. They take, specifically from your stores, they take 20 Wingle digits. They push those into the cipher, and the field of fungi kind of shrinks down into like a manageable path. And you can see that even though it was super dense, it's actually only 10 feet long. And then on the other side, there's like, you know, a system of caves that have kind of been tended, like there's torchlight in them and stuff like that. and so they lead you and the cart down this torchlight, and they actually lead you to a fairly elaborate war camp, all things considered. The war camp is set up in a semicircle, and on the far side of the war camp, so you're standing at the arc of the semicircle, at kind of the apex of that arc. On the far side, there is a river that makes up the back border of that semicircle, and they've kind of built their camp around the river. At the back end of the camp, they have there's a fairly large and reinforced by iron stalagmite that they are using as a stable. So they hitch your animals to that, and they push your cart over to another Bright World cart that's kind of like scarred up and bears the marks of a fight. There's, crossbow bolts sticking out of it and stuff. They push it over there and park it there for now. And they lead you to what essentially is a jail. All of the buildings in this war camp are actually made from like really strong, like sailing type canvas that has been wrapped around 4 stalagmites to create walls. And then they've wrapped it around several times, and then they cut a slit like you would see in a tent and the bottom half of one side. And so that's the door. Once you're inside your room, they wrap it in chainmail around the outside and padlock the chainmail. And that's how they secure you in the room. We're going to go get the captain and bring him back, and maybe we can work this out. But until then, we're going to need to leave you here.
Yes.
They turn around and walk off.
How confident are you in they're not just going to torture and kill us?
I am fairly confident, since I do believe that given the political conflicts that the Drow have been a part of, they would not be a fan of the Brightwood Company invading their kingdom and polluting their area and mining their lands.
That's great and all, but we came in on a Brightworld cart.
Yes.
And we only have our word.
This is correct. However, I believe that we can provide them valuable enough information that our word is probably enough to go on. Even if we did at some point legitimately work for the Brightwood Company, we can convince them enough that we no longer do, because we're willing to sell their secrets. Or not sell, give.
I'm gonna roll the tension die to see if anyone overheard you say that you formerly legitimately worked for the
said
Brightworld
even if they
Company.
think we did. Even if they think we did, because we didn't.
They heard the words legitimate, work,
I
and
guess.
Brightworld Company.
But anyway, also, the Drow are not unwise creatures. They are tacticians. They were able to pull a stalemate out of the claws of defeat against the Hemeticians.
See, man, it's always good to talk first, then fight later.
The stories I've heard, all right, is they torture and murder people. Okay?
Sadly, such as the realities of war. Both sides did this in the Drow and Hemetician War.
The 5th Century War, it's actually called.
The 5th Century War, which is what it's actually called. I believe we are likely in safe hands, and I also believe confidently that we would not have been able to take down all 7, I believe, Drow warriors that were attacking us earlier. They are formidable.
Well,
if you only saw 7 of us, you were right, a voice says at the entrance to your little room. And you turn around, and there in front of you is a tall, lean, gruff-looking Drow who's got on a set of shoulder kind of like epaulettes, and he doesn't have a cape running down the back. Instead of that, he has a cape but of chainmail that runs down behind him, and he wears no other armor, so he can pull the whole cape around him as like a defensive thing if he needs it. He has emblazoned over the tunic that he wears is the emblem of Selvatarm, which is a spider over a crossed sword and mace. And he has kind of the bearing, like Owlin, you kind of can recognize the bearing of the dude who's in charge.
A superior officer.
And he's got that bearing that like people answer to him, and he doesn't like take a whole lot of crap from anybody. He goes, I've been informed that you say you're not with the Bright World Company, despite being leading one of their carts along their known supply route. He looks around at you and kind of surveys the 4 of you. Well, you don't dress like the Bright World Company. Prove to me, beyond shadow of a doubt, that you are not Bright World Company agents, and I will let you go, and we will figure out how to negotiate this situation. but fail to prove to me this, and you go straight to the pit. And behind him, you hear one of his lieutenants kind of like hiss, like, yes, the pit.
Can we get a huddle real quick?
Sure.
He just stands there and like levels a hellstone gaze at you.
What's up, Fox?
I take that as a no.
No, we're in the huddle. We're doing it.
We're in the huddle.
Your arms
huddle,
up.
Huddle. Okay.
There we go.
What if we just we just tell him everything and give him everything we know.
What if talks to him?
And we're good.
I believe that is a possibility. However, it may be simpler. Do we have the dispatch from our friend spying on what the Brightworld Company's doings in the Dwarven City? I believe we received word from him. I think that letter may be enough to simply show that we have been spying on the Brightworld Company and not working for them.
You're right.
Yep,
I
that's
go
a good
ahead
idea.
and dig.
All right, break.
Who had that in their pack?
I believe it was Jeb. I think
took
Jeb
it
had
from
most of
me.
the papers. Also, as this is happening, you hear Yaz's voice in your heads, and Yaz's voice says, I am going to try and make things a little more peaceful. And you realize he's not in the jail with you.
Oh, no. Yeah, where are you?
Immediately, the captain goes, who is Ya?
He's
And
a little
Your imaginary friend doesn't count.
he's a little fungoid dude in a pot with some moss.
You
sorry.
have your pot and your moss with you. Just
He's not in there?
No, he's
I mean,
not in there.
Zothkug always has his pot with him. Let's be real.
Fair enough.
Listen, Zoth, he's had a few too many of it, And
He's a small companion that's been traveling with us. He's no threat to you. He should have been with us. He likes to scamper off. If you see him, just
He's harmless, man. He just
smaller
wants to
than
learn
you.
about the world. He's exploring.
What does he look like?
He looks like he's a little myconid, little mushroom fella.
He turns to the captain turns to one of his lieutenants and goes, Coppershine, find this small myconid and bring it back here. And he snaps a smart salute and immediately walks off to go and start searching.
So obviously, if we had somebody, if we were against you, and we had somebody who was not, a companion who is not with us and is in your midst, revealing to you this information would obviously be very, very counterproductive to, to this arrangement that we're kind of building here. 2 points. One, we're currently traveling to an unknown dark site that it looks like the Brightworld Company is. There's some sort of weird stuff going on there. We want to stop them. To our understanding, carts normally go there fully laden. You could tell our cart only has one crate, then it was about 3/4 full. I understand you guys helped yourselves to some of it. You're welcome to that, but that is something that we stole from the Brightworld Company to help us in our endeavors in stopping them. So that's point number one. Point number two, our friend. And does it say Akrai's name on the document? Is it signed by him?
It's signed by him.
Okay.
Although it's only his first name, Akrai. There's no last name.
Our informant, who's been handing us information about the Brightworld Company and enabling us to take them down from the inside, I kind of hold it out so that he can read it. It's you're welcome to peruse it.
He kind of takes
finally
the paper from you and hands it to his other lieutenant on the other side and goes, read that.
And finally, full disclosure, since we are trying to stop the Brightworld Company, we legitimately gained employment there for the purpose of figuring out what in the world they're doing. We only knew them in name and in the lives that they've destroyed. Our dear friend Circles was employed by them and got addicted to this stuff and was treated poorly and ended up dying. We just want to stop them. We didn't know much about it, and we felt that the most direct way, since they were just welcoming anybody and everybody in to work in terrible conditions, we would do that, and that we could get some information, which we
did
have.
only stay employed there long enough to gain the information we needed, and then left as soon as our cover was blown.
Oh yeah, if you have any like spies or whatever at Dig Site 6, ask about the small pointy guy with the small guy with a pointy hat. My name's probably gotten around. They call me Pebbles.
They call me
you know,
Pebbles.
guys-
I love that.
As you're having this conversation, someone runs up to the captain and goes, "Captain, report from the scout." And the captain goes, "Proceed." And he says, "The scout reports 3 riders heading north at a furious pace, carrying a few wanted banners. And one of them," and he describes Jebediah's face, "one of them has this on it. It's like the perfect timing, the alignment of things." And the captain goes, "So it seems you are, if nothing else, wanted by the Bright World Company. I suppose
And we
on
would
this
love
occasion,
some allies.
I suppose on this occasion, an enemy of our enemy could be a friend." And as he's thinking and trying to decide what to do, you see 3 soft blue spores float through the air towards him. And there's just 3 of them. It's not enough to like make a field or be super noticeable. They just kind of float through the air towards him, and he breathes them in as he's thinking about what to do, and he goes, "Yes. Let us share information, and we will allow you on your way." And he takes unhooks the mail and that's wrapped around your kind of canvas prison, and he lets you out. And as you walk out, the Myconid pokes his head out from behind another stalagmite and kind of walks up to you, and he looks up and smiles. Well, he doesn't really have like a mouth, so it's just like a little bit of like a smile in the crease of his like features, just like, and like crawls back into his pot. And the captain looks down and goes, "Coppershine, you failed." Coppershine goes, he goes, "Into the pit with you."
Oh no!
"Hey, who wants to fight Coppershine?" And 3 people from the camp are just like, "Yeah!" And they like rip off their armor as Coppershine takes off his armor, and they literally like brawl in the pit. It's like one of the ways that I guess they're like disciplining each other.
So Oth just goes really bug-eyed, as just like whispers to the group, "I would not fit in well here."
The pit is generally a common practice, if informal among soldiers. You would get used to it if you did stay here.
I would not. I would become Boots.
The captain leads you back to kind of the clearing in the middle of the semicircle, and there are a couple of different like fires going here, and there's kind of like food roasting over the fires and stuff like that. You're now surrounded by more of those kind of canvas lean-to buildings, and it looks like most of them are barracks. There's actually a sizable force here. To your estimation, Alan, it's more than 40 and less than 70.
Okay.
Kind of like stationed here. It's hard to tell because you can't tell which tents necessarily are for like the mess hall or so. It's tough to get like a real estimate, but it's like a full it's a full war band. Like it's a significant force here. And the smell coming from the mess hall actually smells like real food. Like they've caught something and are roasting it. And the captain says,
it's not a choker?
"You must be hungry." Yeah, it's not a choker. He goes, "You must be hungry if you have fled recently. Would you like some food?"
Yes, please.
And they bring out some food for you to eat, and you can count that as your ration for the day.
Yeah.
You also are able to. He kind of like sits you down at. They're not really tables. They're like, "Oh, we've put some rocks as chairs, and then rocks stacked up in the middle to like eat." It's not like a real table. But they're kind of sitting there.
I would use mold earth to smooth everything out into these nice stone tables and chairs.
The captain literally like freezes in mid-bite and looks at you and goes, "Did you just cast a spell?"
Oh yeah, pull up a chair, pull up a stone. We're gonna eat.
"How did you do that?" And he like sets down his fork, and you can see like the other tables around you are also silent and like staring over in your direction.
Well, I'll tell you what. If maybe we can move towards being a friend of my, and more friends than having a common enemy. I was trying to make a pun on there. It didn't work. You'll get to know that about us.
Then you are bad at puns.
When the occasion calls for it.
Okay.
But that maybe we can swap some information and share things a little bit.
Roll persuasion with advantage. See if you can move him from neutral to friendly.
Oof. Y'all, I'm rolling beans tonight, which is probably what we're eating.
You know what? I would like to help him. Listen, man. we're just trying to get through this world. You know, it's a crazy world, right? We don't understand what's happening either. We just know we're picking up pieces of knowledge, and we think the Bright World Company has something to do with this. Okay, so we're just trying to figure this out like everybody else. I'm gonna.
Yep, go ahead and roll. I see your 10, Jeb.
It was actually a 12.
Okay, cool.
Didn't have
I
enough fingers, and I miscalculated.
I now see your 12, Jeb.
That is a 22.
All right. So the two of you working
Woohoo.
together, I rolled him just a charisma check for like how trusting or untrusting is he, and your DC ended up being 3. So together you handily convince him that like you have both that you have valuable information to share and that you are trustworthy for him to share information with. And he goes, "Okay, let's start talking. Why are the Bright World Company transporting these?" And he holds up the hexagon, you know, the Wingle digit. Why are they transporting these Wingle digits to Tumbleweb when their distribution centers are in the overworld?
Now, see, that we do not know. This dark site here that we're heading to, and Jeb like rolls out the map on the table, and is like, all right, so we are here in 6, and you can see that it makes this shape, and there's a very obvious point in the middle. It's not marked on their map, but we see traffic there, and so we don't know what's there. That's what we're trying to go find out. If you're familiar with this area and you have anything to share on that, then you know that would be fantastic. But that's where we're heading. Now, 2 things we know about these Wingle digits. One is their money, and 2, and he like points at the captain's scratched up cipher, and he's like, and 2, they can cast magic. So that means they're either trying to do something very large economically, or they're trying to do something very powerful magically. That's
Or
the
both.
current working theory.
Is there like an outhouse or something? Is there like a corner or something? I gotta.
It's probably not the pit.
Probably not the pit. Yeah.
Do
you got a place?
Yes, on the other side of the river. And at this point in the in the river's flow, the river is only about 20 feet wide, and it's like wadeable. It's not like the big, deep, wide thing that it is closer to the Southern Ocean. So you're able to kind of cross it. And on the other side, it's just more, stalagmites and stuff. So you can find some privacy and use the bathroom over there or whatever.
All right, I really, Fox, just wanted his anxiety's ramping that we're just straightforward, just telling the stranger everything.
I see.
And just wanted to leave. So
Okay.
I'm going for a walk.
Okay. Fox goes for a walk, and Ya says, "Fox, may I come with you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, climbs up onto your shoulder and just kind of like sits on your shoulder, his little mushroom cap resting against the side of your head. And as he's sitting there, he gives you mushroom vision, so you can navigate.
Don't wander
Thanks,
off. Yeah, okay. Stay with Fox.
Yeah, just nods. Okay, so while that's happening, you're still talking to the captain. The captain says, "Well, if you're going to Tumbleweb, you'll have to pass through the route that they're taking, and if they're looking for you, that may not be safe. I know another way, although it is somewhat perilous. You could take Kyvan's hunt, if you're willing to risk meeting Kyvan, of course. But you'll be guaranteed not to meet any Bright World Company hunters down there, for they do not know the way."
Did we roll the tension pool?
We did.
Who's Kyvan,
Okay, I
man?
just want to make sure.
Kyvan is a fearsome beast who makes, that is his hunting ground. But that path, because he hunts it, is not frequented by any other monsters, so you may be able to get lucky and slip past him, though with your cart it may be difficult. And you also may have a shot at, persuading him to let you pass. Kyvan can be persuaded, can be reasonable, but ultimately Kyvan does not often get, fresh meat as a food, and that can be a challenge.
Does he take bribes, man?
He may take bribes. We have not tried it. He may take a tribute. That might be acceptable. You could try giving him some of your Wingle digits as a tribute.
Is he a collector of shiny things?
I do not know. I've never met him personally. I mostly avoid going that way. I just know that it's a way you could go. sometimes the other solo traveler will cross that way.
I guess we may need to consider. I apologize if this question may rub Jebediah the wrong way. Is our cart necessary at this point in our journey? Would it be easier to cross the hunt and simply forgo the cart? That way we can sneak past unharmed.
Well, how far are we from Tumbleweed, man?
If you feel comfortable hauling the our supply of Wingle digits, since you have like the most muscle, I can't carry that thing. It's too big.
I guess this is true. In the terms of how that would work, would that encumber me in some way, Josh?
Oh yes. I mean, it's a big old crate full of Wingle digits.
I mean, we're currently down to 56 in there from what they gathered and what I gave to Zothkug.
Mm.
So it might just leave you like unable to take the dash action if it's only half full.
Okay.
You might be able to carry it, but you couldn't dash.
Owlin is okay with that. I believe with how much is left in the crate now, I believe that's a encumbrance I'm willing to take if it means that we are able to pass through the hunt undetected, or at least less likely to be.
Well,
detected.
I mean, regardless of which way we go, it's going to give us some more mobility options, but it will hinder our rest options. If we take the regular road, he said there is Bright World Company hunters there, which means we're not going to want to stick to the road anyway.
That makes sense.
Well, how fast
and
does
I'll
news
turn to the
travel,
cap-
man? Because these guys didn't know.
While that conversation is happening, Fox and have walked off and are waiting. Or do you actually wait across the river, or are you just going to wander off somewhere?
Yeah, I'll wait across the
Okay, as you wait across the river, something bumps into your leg. You look down, but it's already gone. Then something else bumps your leg, and this time you're waiting for it, and you look down, and you're able to catch just like a little part of a merfolk fin, like sliding by you and going down the river.
Wait. Like, as in part of a merfolk?
Like,
or
like a fin that has been severed from a merfolk has just bounced off your leg and continued on its way down the river.
I'm staying in the river now, and I'm looking.
Okay. You look.
I'm looking for more.
You look, but you don't see anything immediately. You can roll perception. Let's see if you can find anything over time. Thanks, chat, by the way, for rolling the tension pool.
If another one goes by, I'm trying to pick it up. Perception, you said?
Yeah.
I gotta pull up my PDF. Let's go. That's a 10.
All right. You are kind of looking, and you miss two more somethings that bounce off your leg before you're finally able to catch something, and you pull it up, and it's like a chunk of shin that you like pull out of the water. It does not look to have been cut by like a tool. It looks like this merfolk was like obliterated by an explosion type of thing.
I'm gonna immediately just toss it away onto the land, but just toss it away.
Okay.
Like...
I rolled for it.
Yeah.
You tossed it away, and it landed on the side where the drow are eating.
I don't. Let's go somewhere else. Yeah, let's go somewhere else. All right, like.
Yaz Mushroom Vision
river?
nods.
Like he's in VR.
Yeah. That's why I was like, but yeah, no. All right, all right. I'm just gonna. All right.
That's
the
disturbing.
river wasn't good. The conversation wasn't good. Fox is looking for a little spot that's not a river, not people. He's just gonna find a spot.
Okay, so you just like get out of the river. Are you going on the campsite or the non-camp side?
Non-campsite.
Okay, you go on the non-camp side, and you just kind of like crouch there behind some stalagmites.
I'm just gonna rest against it and just like take some deep breaths and relax for a bit.
And you get a little piece. Yes, chat. It's a little late for Spare the Dying.
Nice.
Yeah, way to lighten the mood there. That was good. So we jump back to our conversation where you all are talking. You have no knowledge of what happened to Fox since he just like went and found
Yeah.
somewhere to sit. So
How far
what's
are
going
we
on?
from Tumbleweb, man?
How far are you now?
Yeah.
You are approximately 60 miles from Tumbleweb to the north. It would likely
Alan.
take you 2 or 3 days using your cart, or on foot, it may take you 4 or 5 days.
Are you comfortable with carrying that whole way?
I do believe it will not be a problem as long as there's no scenario where I need to sprint. If that makes sense.
I can't say that it'll come up, but I can't guarantee that we won't need to at some point, man. We're being chased, but
In that case, it may come down to a situation where when we had the cart, we would have needed to abandon the cart, and without the cart, we may need to abandon the Wingle digits. It's a reality that we may have to prepare for, but it is not one we will attempt to manifest.
There is only one from one other traveler from the Bright World Company who has taken Kyvan's hunt as a route of her travel. A drow with purple hair and teal eyes that seem not to have pupils. She wears a set of sheaths over her shoulders. There's a sword in each sheath, and one of the swords burns with fire, and the other seems chilled by ice. They each have ciphers at the end of them. She has on her chest an emblem of a rod breaking over an anvil. She's the only other we've seen take that way, and she travels there very rarely.
That's not the same description as the person we met in the scary crack house, right? Okay.
No.
Oh, did we figure out what that symbol was? Haven't we seen that symbol?
It's the Bright
You've
World
seen it,
Company,
but-
isn't it?
Wait.
The rod breaking over an anvil is not the Bright World Company. The Bright World Company is a
Did I
circle
mention that?
bisected by a vertical line.
Yeah.
Did I mention that vision?
You know that the symbol is relevant in some way, but you have not figured out what it means yet.
Okay.
Because it also came up in Jeb's grandpa's diary.
Yeah.
Do you know who that person is, or did you just know they went that way?
No, we do not interfere with travelers unless it is a direct part of our quest. We are following a prophecy and are not interested in anything that has not to do with it.
What's the prophecy,
So-
man?
How does that involve us?
You, we thought, were employees of the Bright World Company, and therefore were part of our prophecy.
Could you
He kind
disclose
of
the
makes
he,
sense.
prophecy?
he gets that look on his face of someone who's trying to recall exact words. He goes, "I only ever heard part of it, but deep in the west lies an evil forgotten, evil as ancient as time. If the 5 should fall, it will strike down the gods, severing might from mind. I believe there is more, but I have never heard it, and frankly, I have no mind for solving such puzzles beyond the specific tactical information that whoever it is that is responsible for us losing our connection with our god Selvatarm, whoever caused," and he kind of like chokes up a little bit, "whoever, they are here in the west, and we believe them to be the Bright World Company."
We think the same man. Toth comes over and pats him on the shoulder. I lost my connection to my god too, man.
He takes a couple deep, steadying breaths. Okay. Here's the other things that we have learned, and then we want to know all that you have learned in a fair exchange of information. And we'll just assume for the game mechanics wise, we just assume you tell them, and I'll add some die to the tension pool for the passage of time.
Yeah, we're open books right now,
Yeah.
and they seem trustworthy.
We know that there are 3 kinds of Wingle digits and 2 kinds of ciphers. We know that there are greater standard and lesser Wingle digits, and that each of them possesses more or less magical power. To be specific, as I pull up my notes, a lesser Wingle digit can be used in groups of 10 to trigger a cantrip, while standard Wingle digits can be used in groups of 10 to trigger 1 spell slot, a level 1 spell slot. Greater Wingle digits can be used to trigger higher spell slots by increasing them by 10s. So 10 greater Wingle digits is a level 2 spell slot. 20 Wingle digits, greater Wingle digits is a level 3, and so on and so forth. In this way, they are able to cast spells of increasing power. There is also a system of exchange where each works in the way that gold and copper did. So 100 lesser Wingle digits is equivalent to a Wingle digit, and 100 Wingle digits is equivalent to a greater Wingle digit. They also tell you that there are 2 kinds of ciphers. There are some ciphers that are copper with a black bezel around the edge, and there are some ciphers that are black with copper bezels around the edge. The black ciphers with copper bezels around the edge can only perform a specific spell. Once they have been charged, they cannot take other spell scrolls. They can only ever be recharged with that same spell scroll. But the copper with black bezel ciphers can use any spell. They can be charged in between with different spell scrolls.
What kind of cipher did Wash give me?
Wash, do you have that down in your notes, or do you need me to find it? I have it, so I can click over to it if I need it.
Let me check.
I believe you had a black with a copper
down.
bezel. I believe yours was black with a copper bezel, because you took yours from Circles, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
believe it was black with a copper bezel.
Okay, so it is now permanently charged to the Cure Wounds spell.
Got it.
But that means that it won't, like, it consumed the spell, like the spell scroll, but it won't burn up that spell scroll once it's, like, been attuned to it.
No, so it will still need recharging, but it will recharge to that spell no matter what scroll you put in it. So you could, like, write a cantrip spell scroll and put it in there, and it will still recharge to Cure Wounds.
Interesting.
So there's pros and cons to each.
Yeah. Because spells are technically cheaper once you can use cantrips to get access to whatever you've charged that with. But at the same
there's
time,
no freedom there. That's the
right.
downside.
Yeah.
So that's how those work. And then they obviously spend a long time talking to you and getting to know all the information that you have as well.
Do I recall the kind of spell? I mean, the kind of cipher that Fox lifted off of that one guard?
Yeah, Fox lifted the other kind of cipher.
Copper.
A copper cipher.
Could you explain to me the mechanics of the ciphers and the Wingle digits? Like, since Jeb explained it to me, I forget exactly how they work.
Yeah. Wingle digits are basically a currency, but they also are like a partial magical charge. So what you do is you push Wingle digits into a cipher. Sorry, cipher is a rectangle about the size of a Sheikah slate. In the center of it, there's a hexagonal hole, and you push ciphers into that hole, or Wingle digits into that hole. It's also charged with a spell scroll using proprietary technology that's actually them like flipping it over and laying the scroll against the back of it, or for some of them, it's like sliding it into a slot. They've, at the dig site, they were experimenting with all different kinds, so you're not sure which one they've adopted or if they've adopted a standard. But all of them get charged somehow with a spell scroll, which they consume upon casting. So you put your Wingle digits into the cipher, you flip it over, you push a button, the spell goes off. Okay. And then it consumes both the spell scroll and the Wingle digits inside. And that's the way they work.
Okay.
As they're casting, they glow.
So Zofkug's cipher is USB-A, right? And the other ones are like USB-C.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
They're actually, the reason there are 2 different kinds is that they're actually beta and then production models. The beta ones, they were like, oh, we got it to cast a spell. And so Circles, who was kicked out for stealing, only had access to a beta cipher, whereas most other people at this point have been upgraded to like a production model. So that's why the one you have is the outlier. That's what happened there.
I see.
Yeah, so those are the informations that you get.
And the Wingle digits that we have are standards, right?
Yes, you have standard Wingle digits, which means they can be used to cast level 1. And obviously, like, they can go backwards, no worries. So, like, if it takes 10 lesser Wingle digits and one standard is 100 lessers, then one standard Wingle digit will cast a cantrip. It's not like it's not like you need 10 of them to go down or whatever.
So they go up in increments of 100, not powers of 10 like gold, copper, silver used to. Okay.
Right.
Could I try something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to try putting in one standard Wingle digit, and then channeling my magical power to cast a cantrip.
It does not work.
It doesn't work.
None of the materials are consumed, but it also
Okay.
does not work.
Got it. So I need the cipher. I can't just convert Wingle digits to raw magic power that I can use.
Well, and remember, Wingle digits are at their core arcane.
Yeah.
So there's probably some type of mismatch there that's
Yeah.
going on.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. I just had to try.
Totally makes sense.
Nice.
Hey, where's Fox?
Maybe I should go look.
How long does it take to pee?
He may have
As
gone
your-
number 2, however, that is also taking a long time.
Number 2. Okay, so back over to Fox. You're just kind of sitting and like vibing and chilling, and who's like resting his little mushroom head on the side of your head for like to help calm you. Yeah begins emitting those same purple spores, and you begin to feel your emotions just kind of like relax. It's not that you don't feel, it's just that the feelings are less severe. Like it's not that tightening panic in your chest or whatever. So you just get like you basically are back in control of your emotions.
Hey, yeah.
You lose your mushroom vision, and a couple spores pass in front of you, and then goes, yes?
You ever meet merfolk?
No, I had not left my small garden before journeying with you.
Yeah, sorry, that was probably... Yeah, I know you didn't know, but, yeah, no, it's just, man. Today's not a good day, man.
Can you tell me more?
Well, I mean, listen, I like to keep things close to the chest, okay? I don't like people knowing my personal business, and here we are. We just met these people. We're telling them everything we know. I get it. I get it. I do. It's just, I don't know. It was running me up a wall. And now I walk into a river, and it's filled with chunks of merfolk, and I just... Today's just not... it's just not a good day.
Yeah grabs onto your lapel and like swings down. Yeah says, now I am close to your chest. And you can tell me
Aww.
Even Fox is not immune to that.
By the literal.
I love Yes so much.
Yeah.
The true hero of the story.
Yep.
I used to know a merfolk. That was a long time ago.
Were they your friend?
Definitely think so. Hopefully a little bit more, but if anything, a friend.
His name was
Really
Zoth.
good friend. Zoth the merfolk.
Get out of here. Let him have his moment.
Sorry.
What was it like to know a merfolk? How did you speak to them? Weren't they in the water?
Yeah, those were the days. Back before magic fell. I mean, to be honest, I can't remember much, but
You used magic to speak.
yeah, it was a time where anybody could visit the merfolk. I mean, I was really young at the time, but man, I used to remember times we would run through between the merfolk's little buildings. She would always just have to drag me everywhere. It was a pretty good time.
So
Also a
you
lot
would
of
have to
cool
lay
things.
down and be dragged to places? Is that because it was underwater and you could not swim?
Oh, no. So, when you're in the water, you're kind of like, it's like a weird weightless feeling, right? But, you can swim. You can move your hands and you push, the water out of your way and you swim. But merfolk are just a lot better at it. So I'm over here, the equivalent of if you saw somebody walking, right? And they're like, that's the fastest I can move. And then you saw somebody else sprinting down the road. It's like that kind of difference,
Wow.
So, yeah, man, see, they had like coral growing out of like the buildings and such. Some of them were made out of coral, and it's colorful and beautiful. Man, I can't remember much, but I remember the sights.
What were they like?
It was a magical city. I only remember like a few key parts of it, but just the amount of color, man. You've lived your whole life underground, haven't you?
Yes.
So much color, man, and it's more than you could even see on the surface, right? There's on the surface you see the blue of the sky, the greens and all the different colors of flowers, reds, yellows, but the coral's just everything. All of these colors.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, she showed me a lot of things, man. Those were the days.
Will you take me one day to see the colors?
You know what? Yeah. If we get out of this alive, we get to the ocean, maybe I can show you that. I don't know how I'm going to get down there without magic, but...
Well, aren't we going to bring the magic back?
You know what? I like that optimism, yeah. I don't know if we really will, but if we do, I'll take you there. How about that? That's our deal.
It's a deal. And yeah, climbs down your arm and like shakes your thumb.
Oh.
All right, yeah, we should probably head back. It's getting... Probably people are starting to worry.
Okay. So you head back. You wade across the river. Nothing else bumps into you. Nothing spoopy happens. You get to the other side. You pass by the thing you flung from yourself earlier, and you just I'm assuming you just kind of don't look at it and walk by.
Yeah.
And you head back to the camp, and you get there just as everyone is saying, "Man, if he's doing number 2, it's still taking him a really long time."
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, just you know how it is. We've been eating rations like how many days now? In a row?
Did you eat the spicy chili rations? Is that I've made the mistake of that a few days ago. Similar length of time needed to recover.
But it was the only ones with
I
flavor,
agree. I agree. It is a conflicting scenario.
I'm a fan of flavor.
Zoth is looking at Fox like he knows what's actually happened or going on, and like giving you like a "you okay" vibe look.
I give him a pointed look like mind your
I'm like, how was it? Yeah, you good?
Yeah, it just nods. Just kind of like climbs back into the pot and curls up and contentedly goes to sleep.
Nice, man. Sleep well, little dude. Sleep well.
So, how common are merfolk in this river or nearby at all? I asked the
captain.
Yeah.
Captain
the Drow.
Stone Spear looks back at you and goes, "We've not seen merfolk in these parts for 2 years, I think."
So you haven't seen merfolk in these parts. What about parts of merfolk?
What are you talking about, man?
What?
It's pretty dark even for you, Fox.
What are you talking about? No, we haven't seen anything like that.
Funny story. I was taking a little, I waded across the river, to find a private
Right,
space.
to answer the call of nature, yes.
But a couple things bumped my leg, and it was quite a few, more than one. I managed to pull one out, and it's over there somewhere. I'm not. You can go check it out yourself. You'll find it.
The captain immediately stands up and walks over to go look at it.
Oh yeah, we'll
Kev goes
follow.
with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stay at the table.
Matt,
Okay.
would you have told, or would Fox have told Zoth the merfolk stuff? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But I will say he probably knows I was looking for alone time.
Yeah.
So you all get over there and you find indeed what appears to be a piece of like severed or exploded leg.
Zoth stayed with Fox and was just like like looks around, is like, "You okay, man?"
Not right now, man. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's focus on what we got in front of us, okay?
Okay, man. If you need me, I'm here for you, bud.
Owlin will look at the try to not wade into the water, but observe the water to see if there's more of what he was talking about.
It's not frequent, but you do see the occasional, it takes about 30 minutes in total for all of it to pass. So if you stay that long to observe, then that's how long you see it for. And it's just the occasional little bit, because the stream's not moving very quickly. So a little bit comes into view and moves, and a little bit more comes into bit and moves. And they're such small pieces and so incomplete that it's hard to tell if it's one creature or multiple that have been exploded.
Okay.
Which way is this river flowing? Is it flowing away from the dark side or towards the dark side?
It's flowing away from the dark side. It's the same river actually, so it's flowing north towards Tumbleweb. Captain Stonespear crouches down and pulls out.
It's north towards Tumbleweb. That's towards the dark side, is it not?
Yes.
So you just said
and away from Dig Site 6.
So it's not flowing from the dark side.
No, I'm sorry. So I might have said dark instead of dig. It's flowing away from the dig site and towards Tumbleweb where the dark site is. My bad. Sorry, guys.
I will fill Fox in on what happened while they do that.
Oh, the conversation you guys had? That's fine. Captain Stonespear kind of crouches down at the side of the water and pulls out a stone spear and kind of reaches out and he lifts up another piece. He goes, "It's definitely merfolk." And he puts it back down in the water and goes, "This is an atrocity."
What could have motivated something like this?
I don't know. It looks... He's going to roll survival to see if he can figure out what happened to them.
Also, while he's doing that, is there still a smell in this water? That gasoline smell?
No.
Okay.
The gasoline smell is gone. So it's just if there weren't dead things in it, it would probably be clean enough to drink. He it's still on the end of his spear, and he kind of examines it, and he goes, it looks to have been singed on the ends, perhaps exploded. Perhaps there was some kind of conflagration that caused this to happen. And he sets it gently back down in the water to continue on its way. Behind you didn't even hear him approach. One of the lieutenants has walked up beside him, and he just says, "Dear Salvatarm, I hope they died in battle." And he sits down and performs a funeral rite over the water, a really solemn funeral rite. And then he pushes a stone out into the river that kind of flows with the rest of the stuff as it's moving northward towards Tumbleweb.
Gotcha.
The captain turns around and goes, "I don't know what to make of this. Perhaps your friend does. He seemed particularly affected. However, you are welcome to stay the night here if you like and continue traveling tomorrow. I assure you, no Bright World Company employee has ever found us, and if any ever did, they'd certainly never have time to tell." And he just kind of walks off to go back about his captainy duties.
That is greatly appreciated.
Thanks, Cap.
Do you want to do anything in the camp before you turn in for the night? Anything with the rest of your day?
I want to have Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say it's like a functioning war camp. So they have a smithy, they have an armorer, they have it's not really a tailor, but they have someone who's got a needle and thread and can mend clothes. Basically, they've got the mess hall if you want to try and purchase some extra rations. So they've got stuff like that. If you have anything you want to do.
Guys, I think we should try and get a move on. Maybe we could just take shifts on the cart. The guys are chasing us, and as soon as warning gets out to the entire dig site, it'll be much harder for us to do anything. So we got to stay ahead of them.
I mean, if they have magic at their disposal, who knows if they've already warned everyone? I think we have to operate on that assumption.
I personally, this is my suggested route. I believe we should stay the night here, enjoy the comfort and safety of this camp for one night, then continue on the route of the that creature's hunt. I cannot remember the name of the creature.
Kyvan's Hunt? Someone laughs from behind you. Are you taking Kyvan's Hunt?
I believe
They're ballsier than I thought they were. And two kind of like
I'm not.
rough and tumble soldiers walk up towards you, and as they get closer, you can see that one of them is like a stacked lady, and she's got two small hammers clipped to her belt, and then two throwing axes like holstered on her back. And she says, "Hi, I'm Sledge. I'm the armorer here." And she like holds out a hand to shake.
I was actually going to attempt to approach you later if I had the time.
Well, I've approached you now, haven't I? And next to her, there's just a sort of like, he looks like a run-of-the-mill soldier, like kind of a grunt infantryman. And he goes, "Hello, the name is Silas. Sir T-Sav with some tension. I appreciate you. The name's Silas. I couldn't help but notice you were staying the night. I thought maybe you'd like to play some games." And he pulls out a couple dice that he's got
games,
in a little
man.
set at his pocket.
Wait, Alan, were you just trying to hit?
Out of character, no. He legitimately wanted to see if he could find some armor.
Oh, I know, but it's just the way he worded it. Fox is teasing the hell out of you.
Fox said that in character?
Yes.
No, I am simply interested in seeing if it may be beneficial for the future of our endeavors for me to not go around dressed like this. And he like gestures to the fact that he's just wearing fur underwear and fur boots.
No.
It's not the best combat look I've ever seen. I'll give you that.
I do think
and she
it
kind of
is-
like laughs to herself.
I do believe it is a good look, however, not a good combat look. I agree with that statement. However, before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Good luck, you say.
Zothkug, Owlin like puts a hand in front of Zothkug. Do be careful playing games in a soldier's war camp. You will lose all of your money. And just says,
Silas looks at you and goes, "Spoil sport."
and
"Come on, mate," he says to Zothkug, trying again. "You know, a coin's a card and a card's a coin."
You know what? I'll take you up on that offer.
I'm in, man. We gotta relieve some of this.
No, Zoth.
Yeah, man.
You should take a rest. You know, it's been a long day. I've got this.
Are you sure, man? I mean, I could really use the unwinding.
Well, you know, I could really use not having to play for you know.
All right, man. Do you guys have some sort of temple or something around here? Any worship place, even a small shrine or something, man?
Well, it's not really my. Sorry, I just choked on nothing, and I nearly died, and my life flashed before my eyes. Give me a second.
And nothing came out.
Yeah, that's what I said. I choked on nothing. I'm still doing it.
Jeb's got some business he's going to take care of tonight, so
Okay.
we can take care of that stuff later.
Worshipping's not really my speed, but, you know, some of the soldiers like to do a little right before bedtime, a little prayer, a little whatever, but we don't have, like, no shrines or nothing.
All right, man.
You said Jeb's heading to bed?
Oh, he's got some business to do, and then he's going to bed.
Great. Let's do our dice games first.
Cool.
Box, you head over with Silas, who leads you back to a group. There's like 4 other soldiers there, and they're like, "Ah, yeah. Here's the deal. It's super simple." And they hand you 2 D6.
Okay.
They go, "All right, here's the deal. You roll these, and you win if you get 7 or 12, okay? So everybody puts a coin in the pot, and they all pick up a gold coin, or you can put a Wingle digit in the pot." And they hold up a Wingle digit. Everybody puts one in, so that means there's 4 total in the ante, right? Now, if you get a 7 or a 12, you get them.
All right. Can I roll whatever it would be to see when it's passed to me if the dice are weighted?
Sure. Roll sleight of hand with advantage. This is like your area as a rogue. Yeah.
Jeb tosses a coin in the pot.
Oh, okay. Jeb joined him. Hey, welcome, short one. Come on over.
Didn't realize there was money involved.
So
yeah, he would do that.
So Fox didn't really have a long time to really feel it because the best he rolled was, luckily he has a large modifier. The best he rolled was a 10.
Okay. They don't feel weighted to you. They seem fine.
All right. Yeah. I'll go ahead and roll. Do I just go ahead and roll?
You're the newbie. You can roll first. If you don't get it, goes around to the next man, and we keep going until someone wins. If it makes a full loop to you, we got to ante up again.
All right.
All right.
Do I DM? Do I just roll?
Yeah. Roll 2d6, and you want a 7 or a 12.
It's 2, 3. I got a 5.
All right. You didn't win. The roll passes to Jebediah Peppermint. All right, listed little short stuff. Let's see if you can roll.
Got a 5 and a 2, pup.
Blimey, he got it on the first roll. You're lucky. You can't stop there, right? I mean, that's 4 gold, but we'll go double or nothing.
Oh yes, sir. We certainly will.
All right. There are now 4 gold, 1 Wingle digit, plus 3 Wingle digits, and whatever you two add to the pot.
I'm just doing gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm adding gold.
6 gold and 4 Wingle digits are in the pot.
That was my last gold.
The soldier whose roll it is next takes his roll. 4 and a 4. I'll get him next time. The next man rolls. Ha ha! Read 'em and weep, boys. 6 and a 1.
What if we double it even more?
I like the way you think, stranger. And he flips out a Wingle digit and adds it to the pot.
Hey, Jeb, can you cover me?
Yeah, I got you, pup.
3 more. There are 3 more Wingle digits in the pot, bringing us to 7 Wingle digits, 6 gold plus. Are you both doing gold?
Yeah.
Whatever he covers me with.
Okay,
yeah.
so 2 more gold. So 8 gold and 4 Wingle digits are in the pot right now. The third soldier rolls. All right, come on. Blimey, it's a 5. And the roll comes back to you, tall folk.
2, 5.
Literally, Fox yells, 5! There in the group. Nuts. So you've got, right now, that's what you've won. One of them looks at you, he kind of like side-eyes you and goes, what do you think of doubling it? What are you thinking? Huh?
You know what?
You're only going to be in camp once, right?
That's right. And I'm only going to take this one in once. So bye, folks.
They're like, blimey. They're looking around at each other. We should have used the stupid weighted dice. God, freaking.
Hey.
Jeb offers a goblet
game.
up to the one who's very, very vocal with some water and says, "Here, my friend, drink to your next win." And
Much
I have
obliged.
used prestidigitation to flavor it like key lime pie.
Okay.
Good Selvatsam Almighty, that was delicious. What in the world? What do you carrying magic booze with you? What is that?
Oh, that's grandma's special. Actually, grandpa's special. But first one's free if you want some more. That'll cost you a Wingle digit.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh, my God.
Jeb's a businessman, y'all.
Rise and grind, says Jeb.
18.
Oh, the grind set.
18.
Grind set.
Okay. Jake, roll a d10, and Matt, roll a d10. The sum of those together is how many Wingle digits Jebediah is able to make peddling his fake key lime pie beverage.
6.
6.
All right, 12. You make 12 Wingle
Nice.
digits. Selling your wares. All right, while that's happening over there, Owlin, you wanted to go back with Sledge to the armory kind of tent or lean-to or whatever. So you walk back there, and she's got, her little forge and the anvil, and, all the pieces are there. And she goes, so what you need?
I am interested in purchasing something that will not impede my movement too much, but will offer more protection than this. I was thinking possibly a breastplate with leather armor may suffice.
We can make some of that.
What would that?
What is it gonna
what
cost
would
ya?
that cost?
Well, a breastplate's going to be around 400 gold
Oh
pieces.
my goodness! I cannot afford that. I apologize profusely. What would scale mail set cost me?
Let me check my ledger books. I don't know why I'm using the soldier's voice. Let me check my ledger books.
Alan, I just made a whole bunch of money. You need some?
That'll be much cheaper. You looking for some scale mail? I can do that for 50 gold pieces.
Well, Jebediah, I do not want to impede on your sales today. Could I ask for the pricing on perhaps a chain shirt?
Of course you could. $50 gold pieces.
Interesting. Well, I currently do not have 50 gold pieces. However, I do have 15 gold pieces, and I guess I totally forgot at some point to write down. Have I gained any Wingle digits? Besides,
No, you never collected pay
okay.
because you guys robbed the dig site and fled.
great.
I suppose you
I
collected
can foot
85
you 27.
digits. What's up?
I can foot you 27, Alan. Gold.
I greatly appreciate that. That would put me at 40, 27, how many, 15 plus 20 is 35, that'd be 42, that would be 8 shy.
I'll do it for 42. It just feels like the answer to something. And she
I'll throw in a
takes
couple cups of key lime juice.
Now you got yourself a deal.
Thank you so much,
And
Jebediah.
she double fists the key lime juice, just like tosses it back, and then immediately follows it with a shot of whiskey, and then like turns around and just grabs her warhammer and uses it to start hammering mail into place and building the thing for you.
Man,
She builds you
I'm
whichever
jealous.
you'd prefer, chain shirt or scale mail.
So the pros and cons, and I guess I'll
You just decide.
okay. I would like to
Yeah.
poll the audience as in my party here to see what their opinions are. A chain shirt has an AC of 13. My current AC is 11 with no armor. AC of 13, so my AC would increase by 2. A scale mail will give me an AC of 14, so my AC would increase by 3. However, I would have disadvantage on all stealth checks. I'm already bad
You're
at
per-
stealth as it is.
Yeah, you know what? Take the AC. I'd say take
You're a
the AC
barbarian,
bump.
right?
Yes.
Yes, he's a barbarian.
Don't you have one that mess with unarmored defense?
It will.
Oh shoot. How does that work again?
I'd have to pull it up.
Your AC is your dex bonus plus your constitution bonus.
And funnily enough, my dex is so bad that's why my AC is 11. So
Oh.
I would profit because my dex
believe-
modifier is -1.
I believe there are barbarian things, though, that require you to be unarmored. I can look them.
I'm pulling it up. Hold
Okay.
on.
Wait, guys, we got a min-max
Yep.
here, chat. Okay.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean,
Chad,
Alan,
if you have
know,
opinions on
gotta-
this, you should speak into it. Tell him which shirt's more styling. which fit is his best.
Yeah. Which one's the drip? Which one's the drip?
You can't wear heavy armor. While raging, you gain the following benefits if you aren't wearing heavy armor.
This is medium armor.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Chat just blessed
Aw,
Alan.
thank you. I feel
Alan,
blessed.
next time you attack or make a save, you get to add a D4 to
That's
it.
great.
Chat's been very
Alan.
benevolent tonight with their
Grub
magic.
bug.
Benevolent. They started this with a bunch of encounters.
I said with their
of
magic.
dice.
Specifically, they've chosen to cast positive magics for the most part.
That's true.
They have triggered some random
Okay.
encounters, but you
Grub
survived.
bug just makes me feel blessed, you know, and I think that's that. I just need to value that. So I think getting medium armor shouldn't, because barbarians have proficiency in medium armor. Like that shouldn't be a bad thing, right?
Yeah, man. I
That's
mean,
fine.
I think it looks good on you. I think your muscle, like your frame, it'll look really nice. But think about it. We're gonna be sneaking. We're gonna be traveling a good bit. You probably don't want, something that's going to be noisy.
I
That is true. We're trying to sneak into a dark
This is true.
site,
I believe the male shirt, it only covers the top half of my body, so the legs can still breathe. And yeah, I believe that will be a helpful piece. Thank you.
Chat, for any of you who haven't gotten the mental picture of what he looks like, basically picture someone dressed like Tarzan. He's like a 7.5 foot tall
They don't need the
dude
mental
with, like,
picture.
a
They've had a
loincloth
real
and
picture this whole
sandals.
time.
I will
Yeah.
not be updating the sprite. I
No, that's
literally
okay.
just
That's
finished
okay.
it. Thank
That's
you.
totally fine.
Yeah.
So yes, now I have my chain shirt.
Cool. And she looks at you like, remember, you don't have to always wear it. Like, if you sneak it, you could just take it off.
Ah, this is true. I did not quite think of that.
Yeah. It's not really
That's
meant
a
to be.
wrinkle.
It's not like you don't sleep in it, right?
This is true.
He's
You're
not
not
used
gonna-
to having clothes on, so he
wait.
doesn't. He kind of forgets that you can take it off and put it on.
Guys, you know what? This is important. We need to, you know what? We need to huddle. Okay. Let's because this is important. All right. Listen, how often does he sneak? You know?
I do
How
not
often does he
often
sneak?
sneak. However, I have already purchased the male shirt, and I do believe that the opportunities for sneaking may increase if we choose to go the creepy route that we were planning on going.
Well, this huddle's
Okay.
for nothing. Then.
You look over, and Sledge has leaned into the huddle and is like, I couldn't help but notice, Mr. Rogue here, on your belt, you've got a little bit of an open slot there where you normally might hang some particular tools for, door removal and entrance and things, navigating
Huddle
locks.
break.
And I
All right, yeah.
can't-
You wanna talk about
well,
that
I was
real
just
quick?
saying, for a price, I could be persuaded to construct some.
Yeah, what kind of price you talking?
I don't know what kind of price are you offering, love.
Looks at my. How much did I win?
I'm pretty sure Jeb just gave all your winnings to. Oh no, you took yours and left, right? So they're separate.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are your winnings?
Whatever the pot was, I just
You didn't
gave
write
2
it
gold
down.
back to Jeb. No, I'm sorry. It was Wingle
Chat, I
digits
see
and
you.
some
I
gold.
think it was 8 gold,
And like 4 Wingle digits, maybe?
something like that.
All right. Well, operating off of 8 gold and 4 Wingle digits, I would have given 2 back to Jeb. So I have 6 gold, 4 Wingle digits. I start hefting the Wingle digits. Like, I got a couple of Wingle digits I could throw in there. I haven't pulled out the gold yet.
How many wingle digits?
I go ahead and flip them through my hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 right here.
How about 4 wingle digits and
Some more of that juice.
you know what? Yeah, you got yourself a deal. 4 wingle digits and 1 more of them juices.
I mean, it gets you right here.
They
every
got the
time.
juice.
And once
I'm
you
just
get
saying,
used
they
to
got
it,
the juice.
Yo, Jeb, thanks for paying for it. All right, and I pop over the Wingle digits, and you know what I'm looking for.
y'all can call me Little Juice.
That was my nickname in high
Little
school.
juice.
We got Pebbles, and now we got Little Juice.
And she turns around and takes her warhammer that she's been using to like cast things, and she literally swings it over her head in one big 2-handed strike and just smashes it into like a copper sheet and smashes that into like a brass sheet to reinforce it, and then kicks it with her bare foot into the forge to like heat up. She goes, "Give me a second." And she turns around and hits the bellows with her hammer. So one great big whoomp, and the fire rages up and it comes out melting hot. She reaches in with one of those like pizza pan things and like pulls out just this sheet of copper that's like melting hot on like a stone slab, basically. She just goes, "This is hot, don't touch it." She turns around and just boom, smacks it into a casting. So rather than actually getting it melted, it's the force of the impact that forces it into the shape of the mold. And then she just like pulls it out, like touching it with her bare skin, and hands you a set of thieves' tools. They are a set of +1 thieves' tools, which means that you can add 1 to your roll when you are thieves tooling.
You know what?
They're not magical. They're just that
Cool.
good. She's a
They're
master
cool.
crafter.
They're epic.
Yeah.
Man.
I wasn't gonna lie. I saw you moving that hammer around. I'm like, I wasn't sure you could make delicate stuff.
You
here,
saying
but
I don't look delicate? She puts the hammer over her shoulder and kind of sits back. I'll meet you in the pit. I'll show you who's delicate.
Yeah, and is that gonna prove you're delicate now?
Good point. You raise a good point. You raise a good point. She takes another shot of whiskey.
Ma'am, could I get you to do just a small thing for me, not something very, very big? And Jeb is going to reach into his pack and pull out the chunk of silver ore that he got way back in the first way station. And he's going to pull out the hunting knife that he got from Circles.
Okay.
Could you silver this for me?
Yeah, something that small won't take no time. Fox, to heal your broken heart after seeing all the meat merfolk, chat has cast Cure Wounds upon you.
Aww.
She takes the ore and literally without looking throws it over her shoulder. You hear it right into the forge, and she just goes, nailed it. And then she just slides the hammer off her shoulder, and gravity thunks it down onto the bellows. Whoosh! The forge swells up in this big fire thing. And this time she grabs the tiniest, like they look like a pair of tweezers, set of tongs, reaches right into the forge and like tongs out the ore. And she brings the ore over and she goes, now this one's going to be real toasty, so don't touch it. I mean, unless you're me, because I'm invincible. And she like sets it down near the knife. And then she kind of like her body blocks your view of the knife so you don't see exactly what she's doing. But when she finishes, she just turns around and hands you the knife. It's perfectly cooled. It's all bonded and correct. And what she's done is the entire blade has been silvered. And then she's also had just enough ore that on the hilt, she was able to kind of etch in like a little mini Jebediah, like with his little pointy hat going up the handle in silver.
Jeb is going to put the hunting knife into the Circle's sheath, so it looks like a sword poking out.
Oh, nice. That's cool. You do that. It happens. It takes like, maybe you have to like get a strap of fabric or whatever to hold it in place, but you do, and it's fine.
Would she be willing to actually cut down this sheath and make it into like a hunting knife sheath? Like save the top of it and like custom that for him?
Not for free, love. I'll do it for a few gold pieces. Business is good today.
Business has been good today.
You know what? For Circles, I'll pitch in for half.
I'll toss her a Wingle digit.
She takes the Wingle digit and looks at it. Ooh, one of the standards. She like adds it to her little, they're like coin purses, but they're the hexagonal shape of Wingle digits so that you can push the whole stack of 10 somewhere. Chat is about to suggest a complication for 2,000 points. We got chat going big tonight.
What's the complication?
And she does make those modifications to the sheath. So it's now a hunting knife sheath, basically, on the inside. You're keeping it sword looking, right? On the outside? So it's like a hunting knife sheath on the inside.
No,
of the sword sheath.
like I was just realizing this is like a short sword sheath, so it'd be
I
like
see.
dragging the ground with Jeb. But I just want to essentially I want to keep the spirit of that this is Circle's stuff.
Great.
And that I'm just like making it like a little, like a little hip sheath to knock his hunting knife down into.
Got it. Also, chat says complication unknown. They have DM'd me in the Discord what the complication is. And it will be a secret until it is relevant. Okay, so you have now had the sheath modified to be like a hunting knife sized sheath. Are you wearing it at your hip, like where a sword would go?
Well, yeah, like actually like on his thigh.
Okay.
He's like strapping it around his thigh under his cloak.
Great. Zothkug, what have you been doing this whole time?
So Zothkog has a few things on the shopping list, so to speak.
Okay.
First, he wants to see if he can acquire more healer's kits.
Okay. You head over to, they have like a simple kind of like medic's tent, basically. It's not even an infirmary. There's no beds or anything. But you do head over there to see if they've gotten a healer's kit. Well, we've got some healing equipment, but I mean, we're kind of using it for stuff. You able to pay for it maybe so we can get some more supplies next time we're somewhere?
Yeah, man. How much for a healer's kit, man?
5 gold pieces is what it costs us when we go get new ones. So how about 6?
All right. How many do you have?
They look back and they count by having Washburnello roll a d6.
2.
They got 2 spare healer's kits that they are willing to sell you.
Uh,
So that'll be a total of 12 shiny pieces.
yeah, man. Could I take both of them if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, and they hand you the healer's things. They go, so you're a healer, huh?
Yeah, man. I am.
You don't look the type. Does that ever cause problems for you?
I was really a homebody, so where I'm from, I was sort of the runt of the pack, so to speak. So not really, and I just started adventuring, in these caves, and also we haven't met too many people.
When you look like a creature with some darkness to it, people always want to assume that you're just a fighter or whatever. It happens to us every time we go into town. Oh, they're the dark elves. Oh, their eyes have no pupils. Oh, they're the bad guys. Everyone's like that. But just watch out for it.
Yeah, man.
The world needs more people to set an example.
I totally couldn't agree with you more. Need more good vibes.
Fox feels a little bit more guilty about the first thing he said about Drow.
All right. Could you put me in the direction of I guess where I could purchase more or acquire more rations?
You just want to go see the mess hall. Head over there. I think Silas is on duty tonight. And sure enough, when you get over there, it's Silas, the same dude who was trying to get people to go gambling earlier. He's now kind of working a shift in the mess hall. You can't tell for certain, but he's got the attitude that he might be being punished by a superior who might have been at the gambling game who he gambled away their money. And he might have been given mess duty when he was supposed to be off. He goes, "What can I get you?"
Could I get 2 weeks of rations, please?
Oh, you're trying to buy some stuff to take with you. Sure you can. Just one moment. Let me see if I can get things in order for you here. Okay, so he comes back to you with 2 weeks of rations. That's 14 basically packs. They're basically MREs, but instead of being in cans, because canning food isn't really a thing here, they're wrapped and kind of tightened and salted. And so he hands you these kind of packs of rations. And he goes, "You want to pay in Wingle digits? You want to pay in coin?"
How much in coin and how much in Wingle digits?
In coin, it's gonna be, what's that? Dude, carry the 1. It's gonna be 60 silver pieces, or I'll give it to you for a single less a Wingle digit.
I just give him one of the Wingle digits that Jeb gave me.
Standard. And he hands you a couple extra rations, so you actually get 16 instead of 14.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. And
happy to help. Come again.
Real quick, I don't know if you've been able to do this, but do you guy? I've been very stressed lately, man, and I'm looking for some good vibes, if you know what I mean. I don't know what I can say on the chat or where you want this, what is allowed and what isn't allowed to say.
I believe Twitch allows you to mention plans.
Okay.
I think that's acceptable on Twitch.
Looking for some.
I don't know. If we get banned, we'll know.
Looking for some plans, man. If you have any, or who to go to, what group, where that is.
Down here, I got nothing.
Dang.
I don't even know where you'd look. Never tried the stuff. I live down here, man. Maybe in Tumbleweb you can find something.
Thanks, man.
If he was looking for something a bit more crazy, hypothetically, allegedly, there are a lot of mushrooms down here.
He's not gonna do that with around.
That's true. That's true.
Zoth might do a little bit investigating, but he won't be out too long.
Yeah, Alan is gonna probably go to bed after getting his chainmail shirt. Yeah.
You know what? Fox all of a sudden feels a little better. And probably spends the night just trying to have fun with the people.
Okay. What about you, Jeb?
I'm just going to spend the rest of the night scribing some of these scrolls into my spellbook.
Okay. You scribe some of your scrolls. Scribe your scrolls in your spellbook. Is anybody else doing anything before they turn in for bed?
Zoth will try and commune with Kelnor again.
Okay. Nothing happens.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But he takes
Gotta always
he
double check.
takes solace in, it's comfort. Sorry, not solace. Comfort in prayer, and
Yeah.
then goes to sleep, huddled up with
And
the.
Alan, you said you're basically going to bed, right?
Me? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So after a merry night of revelry, even Fox turns in for bed, and you can join us next time. Not next Monday. I think next Monday we're actually doing some Jackbox and stuff because it's Valentine's Day. But next time we stream D&D, which will be 2 Mondays from now, to find out how the adventure through Kyvan's hunt will go.
Dun dun dun.